Yeah, let's do this. Oh, my God, we're still digging out from the snow?
They're just showing every ding-dong day.
What the hell? I thought the snow was gone.
Every ding-dong day they show this.
And now the garbage is piling. Have you seen the garbage piles now that it's another day?
Yeah.
We talked about this yesterday. I'm walking in tunnels at this point on the sidewalk.
They can't get rid of it fast enough.
In front of your building, dude, on the side between our buildings, it literally is a 5-foot or 6-foot high pile of garbage.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And now we got another snowstorm coming to New York City later this week.
Lots of garbage.
Maybe tomorrow, actually, Jimmy. You better get the fuck out of here now.
I don't want to leave now.
No, I think it's late tomorrow or something, but the feds are looking into the snow job. The snow job here in New York City.
Yeah, that'll be another glossing over because all the supervisors have said they didn't do anything, they didn't tell their guys anything, and the guys were working hard. And
I just want to point out that I think the feds listen to us because this is what we were saying yesterday, and a day later it's right there on the front page of the newspaper.
Oh, yeah, the feds. We're the number one show with the feds.
We're way more than just shock jocks.
The feds.
We're on top of things happening in the world.
On top of things.
We certainly are, Anthony. We certainly are.
Cutting edge.
We're
right there.
Well, it's either the snow job or Obama wearing shorts on vacation. People are outraged, so I don't know what to do today.
Have they run out of things to really bash Obama about?
You're supposed to wear.
You could
look. I
argue with politics all
you
you want. That's fine, but when it gets down to now, we don't think he should be wearing shorts on vacation. Enough already.
Yeah,
enough already.
I don't agree with his policies, but I could give a shit if he's wearing one of those sticks on his dick like they do on those African tribes,
the
South American tribes, whatever they are. The stick, the big carrot dick thing that they wear.
One of my all-time favorite breaks we ever did. I don't even know if it was funny for the people.
Carrot dick fucking outfit.
When we discovered the stick dick people. What is it?
Penis gourd.
The penis gourd people? Can I get a picture of a penis gourd person?
They put on a penis gourd while they fucking blow dart a monkey.
No, is this the one though
great.
where the sticks are literally 3 feet out?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They actually they kind of tie them up to their shoulders sometimes.
One of my favorite things ever. What the fuck is wrong with you?
He's wearing a penis gourd. Opie, give him a break.
And you want a cell phone? You're not getting one anytime soon until you get rid of that 3-foot stick on your dick.
What is he doing?
It's a penis gourd. It's like accessorizing. He's wearing it's like wearing a watch.
Looks like Venus flytrap. He's going to see Mr. Carlson.
Maybe
penis gourd.
I think Brett Favre should become a stick dick person.
Oh, where's penis gourd?
Penis gourd, and then send that picture out. That would be way more impressive, Brett.
Yeah, if you gave
look at these assholes. What are you doing?
If you gave that tribe cell phones, how long before they were texting their penis gourds to women?
What do you look up online? Penis gourd people?
Yeah, you could search for either penis gourd or check out the Kombi tribe, Kombai.
They could be my favorite people on the planet.
They kick ass.
They kick ass. There was a documentary on them way back.
There's a whole show about the Kombi tribe.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
That was
actually fantastic.
What, there's a new show?
It was like about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh, fuck.
It's called Living with the Kombi Tribe with these two English dudes. It's actually a really interesting one to watch if you see it from
Shouldn't
front
it be
to back.
called Living with the Stick Dick people?
Stick dicks.
Stick dicks.
They look like fools.
They certainly do.
I wish I spoke their language. I'd like to click out.
It'd be like, hey.
Click out, you're an asshole.
You look stupid.
With their penis gourd.
Can you look any dumber than that?
Look at that chick. All these girls have to be fucking still in their teens, and their tits are sagging down to their bellies.
It's funny watching that show too, because you see all these different chicks, and they're all disgusting, but you have to grade on a curve. You know, and so you end up seeing one that's all right, and you're going, yeah, all right, yeah, I like her, she's my favorite. And then you step away from the TV and you go, wait a second, she's a 3 in the real world. And I'm staring at her on TV, going, she's pretty hot for Kombi tribe. I'm just saying.
They show tit and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you would jerk to that, though, if you were younger.
Younger, maybe, yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah, because a tit was a tit.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Back then. Back in the day.
It was. If you saw a nipple, it didn't matter.
Now you're very picky. You just you troll around. You troll around many sites, many different pictures, finding the perfect one.
That's right. So why did we say stick dick? Oh, because of Obama.
Obama, he's catching some shit for his attire on vacation.
But he has really nice black shorts on. Some of those shorts that'll cost you a few bucks.
Yeah.
And then he's got a collared white shirt on. And then he's got, kind of flip-flops on. Mm-hmm. And then they show the leaders Wow, what's wrong with that woman's tit?
Oh, my God. That fucking place.
Looks like her baby's a lefty.
Wow.
Yeah, really. The one tit's just hanging down twice as far as the other tit.
Saying,
The
what
other
about
tit's
me?
Really sagging.
Suck on me.
And you know the one over there is like 12.
Yeah, that'll get you
The
in
one
trouble.
up front
Yeah.
with the tits that are firm.
They're not pretty girls.
No, they're not. That's why.
She actually looks like Obama on the end. In the face.
Wow, look at that.
Her face looks like Obama.
Holy shit, really does.
Yeah. So
Almost got firm little titties.
So the big story is Obama not wearing. Oh my God!
What are those? What are they doing? That can't just be from no bra.
It looks like someone took boogers and stuck them on someone's chest.
You know who the one on the left looks like? You remember English from Escape from Alcatraz? I figured there's 2 reasons you didn't sit on my step. She's not a lovely girl at all.
No.
What do they use their tits for chewing gum?
It really is disgusting.
She's Paul Benjamin. She's fucking
Wow,
terrible.
that's horrendous. Anyway, so then they show all the presidents and what they wore on vacation because there's a problem with what Obama's wearing, I guess.
Yeah.
And the picture right next to Obama is President Bush, George W. from 2007, wearing pretty much the exact same thing on vacation, except Bush has black socks on and Crocs.
Crocs.
What do they want these guys to wear when they relax? I don't get it.
And then the next
Cheers.
president would be good old Clinton from 96 with his giant over-the-top red bathing suit and a horrendous T-shirt and his and sneakers with no socks on as he's walking the beach and his sunglasses around his neck, with that neck thing, that neck holder thing. He looks horrendous.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they show you Ronnie Reagan in 82.
Yes.
Walking the beach, and he's got dress shoes on and
He's
slacks.
got cowboy boots on.
Oh, cowboy boots, sorry, yes.
Slacks, his loud striped shirt.
Yeah, and that's him walking on the beach. He felt like that's the best he could do if he's on a beach. And then you got Nixon, who's even worse.
Nixon looks like he's wearing a suit.
Right. And then, of course, Kennedy wearing slacks too, man.
Kennedy wearing boating attire, though.
I
Kennedy
guess-
wore a lot of boating attire.
Yeah, but long pants?
Well, they're kind of like, they're not really pants. They're
Preppy
like
style.
dockers.
Loafers.
He's got like dockers and stuff. He's ready to hit the sailboat and do some of that sailing.
You know how hot that is, though? You know how
Yes.
sweaty those loafers get?
Oh, yeah, well.
What page you guys in? You in Daily News?
Post page 18.
Oh, page.
That's your work. Turn your workbook.
So you think
Page
Clinton was
18.
the first one to wear shorts on vacation?
Yeah, he was the first one that said,
It looks
I don't
like
give
it.
a shit. It looks like.
Yeah,
Doesn't
absolutely.
look like that.
So Obama's not doing anything fucking crazy.
Well,
here.
you know what it is? It's the flip-flops, I think, because even Bubba's wearing the sneakers.
Right.
It's the flip-flops. I don't know.
I think flip-flops way better than Crocs.
I give a shit more that he's on fucking vacation all the time than what he's wearing during vacation, so
yeah.
whatever.
Well, Reagan had a horrible shirt on there.
Yes.
That's just
Looks like something
child's.
Iraq would wear.
Yeah.
It's one of those Iraq kid shirts.
All right.
With little stripes.
Yeah, the stick people. All right.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm distracted by the stick dick people.
Shit about fucking.
I just want more and more pictures of these fucking weirdos with their 3-foot gourds as they're trying to hunt in the forest. You think that gets in the way?
So inconvenient.
You think?
Put a 3-foot long stick on your dick and try to do anything. These people are hunting. Try to do anything. Try to play a video game with a 3-foot stick on your dick, and you're gonna have a problem.
What happens in Connect Dancing when you have that?
Yes. Connect dancing.
Is there a game called Connect Dancing?
Can the Connect recognize the penis cord?
Oh boy.
I know.
Oh boy.
That'd be an interesting little video after everything's done. The highlight video with your 3-foot stick
I can't
waving
see anything.
around.
It's just right in the lens of the Connect, blocking it out.
You know
yes,
what?
there is dancing, by the way. And I do have it. I haven't done it.
Why would you?
But people have.
Yeah, isn't that a game for girls to watch them move their ass?
Yeah. And it seems to be very very hard to do. Like you work out a lot.
Oh, I would imagine. I'm sure it's hard to do, but
I like when these fucking Westerners come over and show these tribes how to smoke and shit. And they're putting a bone through this guy's nose. And
is he going to put a stick on his dick?
It's right by his face. This English guy's sitting down, and there's a stick dick right by... The guy's balls are right by his face.
Right.
Now it's at the back of his head.
They're going to fucking
They're
pierce
poking a
his...
bone through his nose.
Get the fuck out
And
of here.
look at his fingers. That's got to be sterile.
No, it's probably not clean.
Oh, literal Jim.
He is a...
You think that's fecal matter in his
Oh,
nails?
there's so much fecal matter.
It's fucking deer blood. It's everything.
Right through. You just put a bone through the white guy's nose.
They're laughing at him. Aha, you dumb white nose.
Why is he doing that, the white guy?
Just because he
part
needs
of
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the fat laces in the Adidas of the...
Right. Oof. Oh, fuck. And now they're breaking the ends off so it stays in there, I guess.
I don't know.
What the hell?
My eyes are watering, guys. My eyes are definitely watering.
Do they understand it? Now they just eat him.
Oh, check that out. I haven't cried since I was 6.
They're laughing and yucking it up right before they cave his head in with a rock.
Yeah, look at that. Look, there's a little...
Make hats out of his white skin.
You're kidding. That's great.
Yeah, now they're wiping their grimy fingers in his eyes.
Ow.
He's going to get conjunctivitis. What are they saying? That guy's got mange.
They probably have a few
They
words.
hang a pig's tooth necklace around my neck and tie a cord around my head. The simple
didn't E-Rock just
adornments
put it
of a
under his
Kombi
pillow?
man. But then, something much worse.
Uh-oh. What's he doing?
For
White
reasons
guy's
I'm not
naked now.
entirely clear about, Kombi men invert their penis, somehow pushing it back into their body
What?
and wrapping what's left in a leaf. And with the polite reserve of an Englishman abroad, I don't quite know how to refuse without causing offence.
Just,
This guy's fucking with this English guy's dick.
They're all laughing at
They're
it.
pushing it back in. It probably doesn't have that much farther to be pushed back
I'm
in.
feeling faint. Anyway.
What do you mean they're pushing back in?
Into his...
Trying to, like,
Into your body?
and invert it and stick it back in, which
Why do
culturally
they
sensitive as
do
I want to
this?
be.
Probably...
Invent a car.
And then what are they wrapping? His
Having
balls?
this happen, to be honest.
They wrap the dick up so it
Why
doesn't
can't they
pop
show
back
it? It's
out.
just a dick.
No,
It's on YouTube.
no.
Guy's like, no.
No.
Hey, man, they want to live with the natives.
Wait.
Is this like the English Steve-O? He's doing
I
some
got it
crazy
right.
shit. What, he's all
That's
faint?
very strange.
That's very strange. It's like having his penis inverted.
It's making him walk funny. He just fell
Like
down.
falling down.
Well, that's what you get for not being offensive, stupid.
I just went really faint then, like I was about to fall over. I still can't quite hear my own voice. They rolled my foreskin and then did a sudden movement with a hand and the thing went back in. And it was really very unpleasant and I nearly fell over.
Come on.
Huh. Hard to believe that having your cock pushed back in is unpleasant.
What is wrong with this
He looks silly. He's got a tattoo on his fucking left ass cheek.
I bet you they do that in some kind of a weird A, to protect the dick, or B, so it's not hurt in combat or running. There has to be a reason.
Probably, because they're running through all kinds of shit.
Or maybe they're just bored and they just make up shit
what
to
should we do with our
each other.
dick?
Right. Wow, that's crazy. Look that shit up online today. You'll enjoy it. The stick people.
They push his penis back in, but...
Huh? And then they put the gourd on to make it look like you still have a penis.
Hey, Gordo.
What is that for? What is that saying?
That one's hard to hear.
Oh. Why would you... That's good. Why would you put the...
I don't know.
They should transcribe it.
They're a silly ass tribe.
Yeah, they're not ready for apps yet.
No.
Well,
These people are not
The
ready
guy
for
looks
apps.
silly. He's got a gourd sticking out of his pants zipper.
Right.
You know, these other guys walk around all naked and just fucking...
Oh, boy, the black guy just said, I love you.
he looks like me when I was 15.
You're not from here, he says. Oh, boy. You wear trousers. Oh boy, take your trousers off.
He looks like, what's his name? Who's that?
Oh boy, he's making him take his trousers.
Oh, you must take them off.
Otherwise, you can't wear the kotika properly.
Also known as the
gourd. Is the dick
and now
stick.
he's naked walking.
Now he's just walking through the jungle naked with a stick on his dick, and he's from England.
Walking to his own gangbang.
Oh,
he doesn't even know it yet.
What a bunch of dolts.
They really are.
Some ceremony so they could eat a pig later. He's got to take it up the ass.
God. I don't know.
Fools.
Well, fucking Europeans were inventing ships and things that fly.
All right.
These guys were still putting sticks on their penises.
Twisting foreskin. Silly geese.
Silly.
Speaking of penises, we got this.
Peanuts are now on Northwest Airlines snack menu, and travelers with allergies are flooding the carrier with complaints about the change. Northwest began serving peanuts this month, as its merger partner, Atlanta-based Delta Airlines, has done for years. Georgia is the top peanut-producing state in the country.
Wow.
Delta says that it will make seating and service accommodations for peanut-allergic passengers.
All right.
She loves the penis.
So if you're allergic to penis, what? They put you in first class? Is that
what it
that's
is? Whoa, that's nice.
There's a special penis section.
Yeah,
Penis?
special
You don't like
penis
You don't like the penis?
Some people have penis allergies.
Fucking Colts are going down, motherfucker. Sorry. Locally, they're talking about our Jets, Anthony. Our Jets.
Yes, the Jets.
The terrific Jets.
Good old Mark Sanchez. Well, we'll see, won't we? I'm going to bet a fuckload against the Jets.
You're a Jets fan.
Yeah, but I'm going to make a couple of bucks.
What's the over, man? Maybe you go a little over.
I don't even know who to bet with. What am I kidding? I don't know a bookie.
You don't know a bookie?
Wish I did.
I might know a bookie.
Like I need to
a
gamble
bookie.
more.
Yes, you
What are you
do.
talking about?
Wow, this
online.
is a one-time gamble, though. This is easy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How you do that?
Want a little action on the game. Bet you Roddy B knows a bookie.
It probably does. Atlantic City's talking about it because the casinos are fucking hurting so bad.
They are, right?
Yeah, they're talking about opening up a couple of more casinos, opening up sports betting.
They don't have sports betting in AC?
No.
Not really.
No. And online. They want to talk about doing some online fucking action.
Maybe it's good
make
that
some money.
a lot of people aren't gambling.
Why is that?
Because they're fucking gambling away everything they have.
Good.
You have the money.
Nah, it's just what they do is you got to be responsible.
But
you put anything.
People aren't responsible with
But
their gambling.
you put anything out there that's pleasurable and exciting to people, and some people are going to overdo it. Other people can deal with it.
They're opening up these.
Of course, I'm one that overdoes it.
I don't mind, the big places that they have all over the place. But now
Yeah.
they're opening up these mini casinos, and it seems like almost every other neighborhood.
Really?
People are going there with their paychecks.
The engines?
And eventually that's going to hurt us. We're going to get hit over the fucking head by somebody.
Is it the engine people? Yeah, because in Sim City, if you open up a casino, your crime goes up.
Absolutely.
And you got to
it
get
does.
more cops in there, or else your crime goes up.
I don't
People
know.
get mad.
Like I said, you got the big ones. You got your AC. You got your fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
Got a few of those boat places.
Foxwoods.
Yeah. But when it's in the middle of a horrible neighborhood, that's dangerous shit. Do we have to go that far with this?
Stay in the compound.
I was in Vegas for a week, and I probably lost maybe $300, maybe less on video poker here and there. I would drop in 20.
You love the video poker.
I do, but I wanted to keep playing. But it's like, just win 30 and quit, lose 40, quit. It was.
But Vegas is one of those
tough
places.
ones.
It's a destination. You got to plan for it, unless you're local, obviously. Did you see the real Vegas? You go 2 blocks off the strip, and you see what that town is.
It's actually nice. I mean, I've done it many times when I used to work with Dice. It's actually nice.
A couple of 100 yards down the road.
No, you got to go.
You Jew motherfucker.
You got to go a little further in than that, Jimmy. You'll see some sad people and some sad fucking situations.
Yeah.
The horrible fucking motels that people book for a week.
Oh,
to
yeah.
gamble,
I've
all
seen
that.
some of those are terrible.
Oh, yeah. The cash places.
Oh.
I have a gig in Henderson, which is 10 miles from the strip in February.
Wow. Now, what's that going to be like?
Probably me and 5 fans.
Yeah.
Where's Henderson?
It's, I don't know. I think it's Henderson. I know it's a few miles
from the strip.
Yeah. But it's a local gig. It's a local casino.
Huh. Very cool. All right. Hey, everyone's talking about homeless Ted Williams, so let's get this out of the way. This fucking video, man. I've never had more people tweet me the same fucking thing than this Ted Williams video from yesterday.
Yeah, you could officially stop.
Yeah, you could please stop. And I appreciate people trying to turn me on to shit all the time. Thank you, but this playing it on the radio is just not going to do it justice, unfortunately. So search out the video. The video, I think, is up to well over 2 million views in one fucking day. One fucking day. Do you know about this, Jimmy, the Ted Williams guy? I guess out of Columbus, Ohio, there's a homeless guy, homeless Ted Williams. And someone noticed him, and he's got a golden radio voice. You want to play it off YouTube so we get the visual for Jimmy? Just watch this.
There are often homeless people asking for change at freeway exit ramps, but recently there's been this guy with an interesting sign at I-71 and Hudson Street. His handwritten sign says he has the God-given gift of a great voice.
Hey, I'm going to make you work for your dollar. Say something with that great radio voice.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. And we'll be back with more right after these words. And don't forget, tomorrow morning is your chance to win a pair of tickets to see this man live in concert. Thank you so much. Well, when I was 14 years old, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. When I was 14, I kind of listened to one of our area radio announcers. And I went as a field trip to go meet the guy, and he looked nothing like what he sounded like. So I asked him about that, and he said to me, listen, radio is defined theater of mind. And so when he said theater of mind, I just said, hey, I can't be an actor, I can't be an on-air personality, but the voice just became something of a development over years, and I went to school for it. And then alcohol and drugs and a few other things became a part of my life. And
sounds like my story.
Clean, and I'm trying hard to get it back. And hopefully somebody from one of these television or radio says, hey, I need a voiceover, or I need something. So, you know, I'm hoping one day, watch Family Guy, weeknights at 7:30 on Fox 28. Anything, but that's what it is. And I love radio.
Oh, that guy's so getting a job.
Oh, wow. Now it's pushing almost 3 million views. This thing was posted yesterday.
Yeah.
This thing is everywhere. I've never seen a video explode so fast in my life.
Yeah, it's very strange. I mean, I saw it after the show yesterday. I saw it literally with just about 300 views on it.
Yeah.
And now it's up to 2.8 million.
Yeah,
so that's how YouTube works. It stays
so weird,
at 300 until the counter catches up.
How quickly will this guy have a gig?
Well, they're saying he might have one today because he's
Yeah.
supposed to be like on local radio, and like the whole gag is like they're going to offer him like a job. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but CNN's on top of it now. The Today
good.
Show, everybody
He does
is
have
on
a good
top
voice,
of this.
right?
Good. It's amazing. He could be hired tomorrow.
It's such a fucking voiceover
It is
guy.
it is that voice that you feel comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
And the guy is a mess. He's a homeless guy. Obviously, the drugs and alcohol did its job on him. He looks like shit.
Yeah, let me hear his voice again. He really does have an amazing old golden age radio voice.
Hey, I'm going to make you work for your dollar. Say something with that great radio voice.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. And we'll be back with more right after these words.
Wouldn't it be ironic to hear him intro Mustard doing a song?
Yeah. Hey, man, I said we would hire him in a second, but I think we're way late to the party. Have him fucking voice our stuff here. But everyone's on top of this guy.
This guy.
Everybody. How many likes?
He's a big star.
31,000.
31, almost 32,000 likes.
Well, I don't like. Give me a mark of demerit.
Well, you know what? You must be one of those 82 people that didn't like this video.
Thumb down.
They're all radio people out of work.
Probably. They're just assholes. People just have to be assholes because they can't help themselves. How do you dislike a video like that? Seriously, what's wrong with you?
I don't like his hair.
You know
or
what?
His teeth that look like they're about to fall out of his.
Is a bum.
Fall out of his head.
What that's a voice that he's actually standing outside on the highway with.
Right.
There's no modulation.
No professional processing
Nothing.
or anything.
Yeah, because they threw that.
Through a flip phone or an iPhone or whatever the fuck this guy used to videotape.
Right.
Record this.
Yeah, you get him in a
digitally
production
record this
studio
guy.
and you throw him through a couple filters. That voice,
If he's
becomes
talking to you
ridiculous.
in person, you could probably feel the bass in your chest.
Right.
and smell the breath in your nose. Wow.
But he's clean for 2 years, trying to get his shit together.
Is he though?
Yeah.
You don't think he's clean?
I hope so. I hope Mustard's still doing good.
Yeah, I'm hoping too.
The guy looks like he's
what?
He should, if he's clean and been clean for what did he say, 2 years?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he get his shit together and fucking start putting in some goddamn recordings?
Well, that's why he has this sign.
Is that it? A sign on the side of the road.
Sign on the
get you fucking. Although it did for him, but
you think he can get a real voiceover agent
in a second?
Oh, Eatman probably handles them already.
And in a second, this guy will be hired by the end of the week to do something.
But I hope he doesn't just get a shit radio job.
No kidding.
There's real money in voiceover.
Right.
Like a lot of money in real voiceover, which he could probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, yeah, it's Anthony. Can I speak to Bob Eatman? Oh, he's on the phone with a bum.
But it's just another client. Bob's a fool.
So, everyone's talking about it. What's the name of the video? Like, greatest homeless man with golden radio voice in Columbus, Ohio.
And he's in Ohio? Okay.
Columbus, Ohio.
So now everybody has reposted the video, so it's now 100,000 copies of it floating around.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So thanks to everybody that sent me that yesterday, but you don't have to send it anymore, please.
Sunsky.
So that's a big story today.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
How's a guy like that out of work?
Maybe he's still drinking. Who knows?
And radio's like...
Yeah, but most of the radio guys drink.
That's true.
Radio's
I've seen nothing but alcoholics in this fucking business.
Radio's cut back everything in this room.
You're the only non-alky in here. Sorry, Dan, Ant, but let's be honest with our three selves.
Well, good news is that if you're on YouTube and you just search homeless radio, which hopefully a lot of people are going to be doing today, they'll find this radio show, Homeless Radio with Tippy Tom.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, hey, that's good. Now that's a homeless radio guy.
Fuck yeah, man.
But,
Tippy Tom.
Taken from us much too young.
Guy.
Much too young. How old was he? Who knows? News?
I don't think he was that old.
I don't think he was either.
He was either like 35 or 60. We don't know.
But he knew Barry Manilow had a dog named Bagel. Yeah! He is missed, that fucking smelly motherfucker.
Really missed.
Crap.
Hey, we got more birds dying, I hear.
Really?
Yeah, and where was it? Louisiana now? Got more
down
birds.
south?
Got more birds dying.
I've been reading a lot about this, and I've been reading a lot of comments after the stories, and boy, a lot of people bringing up that harp thing in Alaska. They got that harp array that Jesse the Body was talking about on his first season of Conspiracy Theory, his show. And so everybody's saying that's what it is.
It's not.
It's harp.
Maybe they're doing some harp shit, but birds aren't dying because of that. The ones in Louisiana, they're saying, all right, enough already. They flew into power lines. Stop.
Yeah.
This happens, and that's what happened down here. They lost 500 birds in Louisiana. And the ones in Arkansas, the more research you do on this, they say you look up, there's so many goddamn birds in the sky that that the sky looks black.
Like craziness, birds. Like birds where, you don't even see the sky.
We've never seen that many birds around here.
Yeah.
So if fireworks or some lightning happens, you're gonna fucking scare some birds. Maybe they crashed into each other. They don't have room to maneuver.
That's what it is. Maybe
they got startled and fucking did headers into each other.
Yeah, you know how birds are.
Angry birds.
Maybe they flew into some wooden or ice blocks.
Maybe they're doing a little deconstruction.
And there's a couple of piggies in there.
With hard hats.
With hard hats on.
Were pigs with hard hats found at the scene? Running away?
The pigs that sound like Uncle Paul. Yeah.
Hey, you want to get Troy in here? Because Troy has questions.
Does he have any? Has he commented on this? Has he done research on this now?
Well, I don't know. We told him.
Well, this story is a week old, about almost. He should have done a little research, right?
Well, I think Troy gets mad at us because he has questions and we don't take him seriously.
Sauntering in.
And all we say is, do your research.
Ah, yes.
Hi, Troy. How are you, sir?
Hi, Troy.
Drop your water there. Troy put his water down right by his headphones and just knocked it over, and it made me laugh.
Something happened here.
Carlos.
Give him a drink. Something happened here.
Where's your wife? You think I bring her around like your conspiracy nuts get involved with her?
I saw that last night again, by the way. I just am laughing my balls off a raging bull.
Let you bums get involved with her?
In a cage. Have to rage.
It's the fucking greatest.
Horrid.
Troy looks defeated already. You
No,
can't be
no.
defeated. You got to hang in there because you have questions. You're representing a part of this audience that listens to the show. There's other people out there that have questions.
Dude, I'm jumping off, man. I'm just whatever the mainstream media is telling me. That's what I'm going to believe from here on out.
Attaboy. What are you doing to yourself?
No, he sounds sarcastic.
You got questions, and
No,
there's another
I mean-
500 blackbirds dead in Louisiana.
Dude, it's so much easier to sleep at night if you just believe what you're told. You know?
Ignorance
We
is
are not
bliss.
saying you should believe what you're told, but
Ignorance is bliss.
all we're saying to you, if you have all these questions, you got to do a little more research.
Well, it's just when you question anything and you believe anything other than what you're being told, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, man.
So it's just like, why? Just go with the flow. You know what I mean? Like when they're telling you to get in the cattle car because you're being shipped off. Just get in and go. You know what I mean? Because whatever they tell you is the truth.
It's a conspiracy.
Nice.
So just get in the cattle car?
No, that's no conspiracy.
everybody
That's go with the flow.
That's what you're saying.
That's do whatever you're told.
It's better to do that than question things.
Yeah, of course. It's just a lot easier.
We need people like you, though, Troy, to question things.
Why? Why do it?
Sorry to interrupt you guys on Morning
it's
Joe,
everywhere.
MSNBC.
They're saying the next Susan Boyle?
No.
Wow.
Why is this?
Because, you know, ugly people are not supposed to be talented, remember?
Yeah.
Jimmy made that point perfectly clear on this show.
It's true.
If you're ugly...
My parents made it to me when I was small.
If you're ugly, society has already decided that you have no fucking
You're valueless.
value. Right? Fucking assholes.
The funny thing is, nobody cares that this guy shits his pants. Oh, my God. He could sell Tide.
Right.
He sounds like a radio guy.
It's amazing.
If you're an ugly fucking pig, society has decided you have no worth. You're worthless.
Zero value.
Fucking mainstream media sucks at
Let
dick.
people step over you.
I'm happy for this guy. But the funny thing is, we're interested in him because he sounds like a good radio guy.
Right.
We're just a silly country.
And you know all these stories never end happily. There's going to be some horrible thing in his past that they have to awkwardly bring up in another day or two.
He molested a child and threw him into a meat grinder.
Right, they've been looking for him for 5 years. Who wants to bet that this ends horribly?
He's got some baggage.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He's got some skeletons.
I'm going on record right now. None of these stories ever end up happily. They always have to dig until they fucking kill you. And that's what they'll do with this homeless Ted Williams guy.
They'll prop him up on a little pedestal for a while.
Right.
And be like, he'll do the talk show circuit and be on Fox and Friends.
He'll end up on
Letterman
by tomorrow.
And then they'll dig something up like, he has an arrest record for touching children.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
Sure.
And that's probably why he doesn't have a job in radio.
But back to Troy Kwan, because he has questions.
Yeah, have you heard any more about the birds?
Why are you giving up? Because a few fans are beating you up?
No, it's fun. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just a lot easier to go with the flow.
He's not giving up.
Don't give up.
He's not giving up.
But it's so much easier, though. You know what I mean?
He's not capable of giving up. He could say he's going to give up.
We like that you have
he'll still
questions,
think.
but we don't like that you have no substance behind the fact you have questions.
Here's the honest-to-God truth. With conspiracy theories, I can only take so much of it. Because then it becomes too much because there's so many people that devote their lives to this, and you just become so involved with it, and I can't do it. Honestly, I can't do it. In order to wake up in the morning and be excited about life and excited about what I have going on.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
But what is a conspiracy theory?
It's a conspiracy.
Like,
no echo. I love that.
Jesus.
I love that Danny just repeated himself. That's the best.
It's more fun that way.
It certainly is.
I have a question for Troy.
Love that.
What's a conspiracy theory that even you find ridiculous? Like, is there one that you even look at and go, who the fuck believes that shit?
As far as like drinking water and poisoning us through drinking water, I mean,
like the fluoride.
See, that one I believe.
Or we for a we? What are we talking?
Yeah, as far as fluoride and what they're putting in your drinking water. I mean, but then again, man, I don't know. I don't do tests on it. You know, there are people that say that the drinking water is fine, and there are people that say, look, this is what's in it. This is what this is doing to you.
So hang on, you're buying into the drinking water thing too, then?
No, I'm just saying it's hard to believe that.
He's got questions.
I like Troy. He's a lazy conspiracy theorist.
He really
like
is.
he doesn't read anything.
But that's what they all are. But that is a conspiracy theorist.
But I'm not in here claiming to be a conspiracy
theorist. That's why we
theorist.
want you to be better than the average conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not claiming to do that. I've told you that I've watched.
That have questions.
I've watched some of Alex Jones' movies. And they're cool. I mean, they're fascinating.
Did you hear him on our show yesterday?
I watched some of Steven Spielberg's movies. They're fascinating too.
Okay, and that's fine. And when he does a documentary, you could go, oh, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah, but a documentary is still biased. A documentary is just presenting the facts the way that the documentary maker wants you to see those facts.
Fahrenheit 9/11 was biased. Even
so you can say that about anything.
I love King of Kong. I'm not gonna. It's extremely skewed, one-sided. I mean, that's obvious. But you know what? It's entertaining.
Right.
A documentary is still entertainment.
Well,
when
I'm not in here trying to sell you on what he's saying. I'm just saying I find this interesting.
Yeah, but don't tell me to watch an Alex Jones documentary.
Did I tell you that?
You didn't watch this yet.
Did I tell you to watch it?
Blown away. But
when did I tell you to watch it?
You're bringing it up. You saying, well, you got to see the.
I said I found it. When did I say that?
Confrontational.
Why are you?
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, and I'm answering it.
This is a fight now. What is this? I just tried to be like. I wanted to have a back and forth.
And we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're being very aggressive.
Am
now.
I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, am I? You sure?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, damn. That was. Am I?
Well, I'm asking because I didn't tell you to watch shit.
But you brought up his documentaries.
I said I found it interesting.
All right. But I'm saying that not just because it's a documentary doesn't make it fact.
Did I say that?
You were implying.
I said I found it fascinating.
You implied it.
When did I say? How do you imply when I say I found it fascinating?
Because you brought it up.
Awkward.
It's not awkward.
It's not awkward.
Not at all.
They're asking me to come in and talk about it. Am I running in here to talk about how great Alex Jones is?
Ooh. Dude, why are you being like this now? We're just talking about this.
I'm just talking.
Wow.
I don't think Troy likes the drop. Maybe we should.
I love the drop. Play it again.
Oh, shit.
It's a conspiracy.
By the way, Troy, if Travis comes in here, are you wearing a cup?
I think so. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Just making sure.
Yeah. I want to thank Travis for that.
Here's the problem with conspiracy. Jesse Ventura is not lazy. Like, he's not a lazy conspiracy guy.
I am.
And neither is Alex Jones. But those guys are agenda obsessed. Like, they're obsessed with the conspiracy being a conspiracy, otherwise their identity cease.
I'm running out of conspiracies.
And Alex Jones is lazy. He's useless until noon every day.
Well,
you heard him
that was
on the
funny.
show yesterday?
That was hysterical.
He didn't even know he was on the radio.
Yeah.
And then hung up and said, I need 5 minutes, and never called us back, by the way.
But just imagine how intense that guy's life is. I mean, to constantly be sleeping and breathing conspiracy theories.
I don't think he believes it. I think it's an act.
Yeah, let me tell you what I think about Alex Jones. Ant basically said it. I think he believes only half of the shit he says on his show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without the passion that he puts across on the air.
Art Bell.
Yeah.
He believes a bunch of it, sure, but then he knows what his audience wants, and he goes all in.
I would love...
If you got him at a bar and said, look, between me and you, he would say, yeah, half that shit I don't really believe.
I would love to see somebody take something that he said and prove him wrong. I really would.
No, I would like to see him prove what he says right.
Exactly.
It's all speculation based on some theory. That's why it's theories. When the other side presents facts, the conspiracy side presents theories, and people pick up on it because they always say that the government or this overseeing body entity is the one that's blocking the information from really getting out there. So they got to dig and dig. But they never come up with any solid evidence. 9/11 is the prime example. That is the prime example of conspiracy people gone nuts, because there's absolute evidence of everything that they say is a conspiracy, yet they refute it all with just speculation.
And in true conspiracy theorist fashion, the minute they are presented with facts or logic or physics,
they don't hear it.
They just get angry and start yelling.
And they change the subject and go they try to make it like they're going deeper behind what you said. Meanwhile, they just shoved off what you said.
And it's funny because I saw a documentary about like why conspiracy theorists feel the need to get you on their side also.
Yeah.
And it all boils down to like they need this passion in their life for something.
Yeah, for anything.
And so they go and they attach themselves to these situations because they feel something for it. Even though it's not genuine, they could suck onto that feeling for a little bit and make them feel full of
They're
that
part of something,
that movement that's important. Yeah.
They're married to the idea of the conspiracy being a conspiracy. They're not looking to find the facts.
No.
The conspiracy is, and I know that because when we had 9/11 people on, I remember the Pentagon. I had certain questions about it. I'm like, yeah, they actually raised some good points. But then I took it a step further, and I talked to people, and I read stuff, and I after like weighing everything, I just believed it actually did hit the Pentagon. And after the conspiracy theorists themselves, by their babyish way of arguing, and they're ignoring certain facts, they convinced me that it exactly was the way the government said it was. And what we all knew it was. It was a plane that hit the Pentagon. Because when certain facts were presented, they were, like, I didn't want to go,
Why didn't they find any parts of an airplane?
But they did.
And they did. Meanwhile, they absolutely
but
did.
where is it documented, though? Where are the pictures?
Everywhere.
Go ahead.
Bring up a photo.
Conspiracies.
And don't show me the piece of aluminum siding to a plane sitting in the yard as concrete evidence.
I'll show you the damage. Like, I could show you a computer animation of exactly the damage that occurred, and then side-by-side shots of the actual real damage that happened.
How about a landing gear?
You know,
how about parts
how about
of the fuselage?
engines?
And what's wrong with parts of the fuselage being spread out over the site? And parts of the landing gear that match up exactly.
And you know, there are things that are fascinating with the Twin Towers. Supposedly, you know, they found one of the hijackers' passports.
Muhammad Atta.
So how is a passport, which is paper, go through an explosion? There was an explosion. The plane crashes in, and somehow, and the passport's probably in the guy's bag. How does a passport go through the bag, through the plane, through the explosion, and end out on the street?
It's a conspiracy.
It got blown out, and Troy, that's such a. The thing is, that's such an odd thing to find. That there's such an easier way to plant evidence than we found a passport that blew out of a plane. Like, that is somebody obviously found it. It was one of those things that just, when the explosion, I have paper from the Trade Center. I actually have something from the 104th floor in my apartment
it blew
paper
out.
blew out of the thing, and it happens. It's an odd thing to happen.
And that's fine.
It happened.
But for me personally, I find it hard to believe.
You find that hard to believe, even though there's other evidence that Mohammed Atta was on that fucking plane.
Like, there's video of him in one of Bin Laden's.
Plenty of evidence. You don't just have to take, if you just had to take the passport and say, hey, look,
wow, Mr. Passion over here.
Oh,
me?
Why are you so passionate about it?
Because you say things that make me insane.
Well, then you just go.
Because you just said it was hard to believe. Troy, you believe that fucking that the government is putting aluminum chips in the sky, but a fucking passport on the floor is hard to believe. That's ridiculous to me.
Wow. And we don't know.
Why is one thing more ridiculous than the other?
We don't know if the passport was in a bag.
Don't touch me. I don't want you touching me.
Oh my God!
I don't want you touching me. I don't want you. Who the fuck you to be touching me?
I'm trying to talk to you.
You don't have to touch me. You can talk to me and not talk.
Why is he
touch
doing
me.
this?
Because what's your problem?
I'm not. I'm trying to have a fun talk. I'm trying to have a fun talk about conspiracy theories.
Is it fun?
It's fun. Yes,
is this fun when you go, when I say something, you go,
because you said it was hard to believe. Meanwhile, everything that you defend is incredibly hard to believe. I think that's a solid point.
Okay, well, they've done research to find aluminum in rainwater.
Okay, and they did research that they found Atta's passport. I don't think one thing is more ridiculous than the other. I think that's the only point I'm trying to make. I think they're equally ridiculous.
Well, I got your point.
It is kind of odd, though, that you would. This is the point. It's hard to believe that they Atta's passport. It is a hard thing. That is kind of an odd thing to have happen. They find a passport.
Yeah.
But yet, conspiracy theorists buy into the fact that 210-story buildings were wired with explosives.
Right. Now, what's more ridiculous?
Like the thing is, it is the way the facts are looked at. It's agenda-driven. That's what I find difficult.
Yes, they try to make their own story make sense instead of looking for the facts.
Right.
That's what I see a lot.
And you hear the bullshit repeated, like with Kennedy, like, oh, Oswald was the good shot. You hear that repeated by everyone. It's like they actually watch Oliver Stone's movie and then just repeat what they heard.
Think that's the history
and
of
they
it.
also make, like, the passport story better. Who says it was in a bag? It could have just been in his front pocket, which makes it a little easier.
To make it through an explosion in the building crumbling?
A lot of shit made it through the explosion from the plane.
I think all the fuel was well behind Mohammed Atta.
He was in the front of the plane.
And a paper passport is going to make it through that big ball of flame.
No, the flame, the force of an explosion could easily blow somebody's possessions
right
out of the
out of the plane.
Out of the plane. It is a big, and it's such an odd thing to have happen, to find the passport, to think that would be their evidence. See, when they could have just as easily forged a note and left it in the hijacker's car at the airport.
I've never seen a picture of the passport.
No, but I've heard they found it.
I did too. Is it fucking burnt? Is there just a piece of it that they
I don't know what it was
Mohammed
in.
Atta's? Like, I don't know.
Do you know, Troy?
I don't know. I know that they've said they found it. But I've yet to see it.
And there's video and other records of him boarding this fucking plane.
They know he was on the plane.
They know he was the guy that flew that plane.
I'm not trying to convince you that it was remote control airplanes and the real planes landed. I don't know. A lot of people say too, maybe our government just looked the other way and let this happen. I don't know.
That would be more viable. That's something you could actually go, all right, maybe. But again, that involves people keeping their mouths shut, and
right.
I can't see people doing that. They can't keep their mouths shut about anything.
Yeah.
People are fucking blabbermouths.
And there's so many easier ways to accomplish. To think that this dumb government would actually plant a passport and go, see, that was the guy in the 90s. It's preposterous. It's such an odd thing to find.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that they would find that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't plant that. You plant a note in the hijacker's car. It's that simple.
Yeah. I don't know.
To kill everybody.
Right,
Oh, look what we found. It's so much easier.
That's fine. It's a hard thing to believe.
All right, but this was about the birds.
Yeah. I don't know much about the birds. I mean, it's probably fireworks or lightning. That's my guess.
Are you giving up though?
No, I mean, it's, look, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Yes, you are.
I'm just thinking if
it
was some kind of gas or something, more than 5,000 birds would have been killed if there's millions in the sky.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's something odd.
Or did those birds have a weaker immune system and the gas got to them?
Dude, you know what conspiracy theorists have too? And it's a weird thing. And I'm not saying everyone for every conspiracy, but it's a weird, almost a safety that this stuff is being controlled by someone. It's almost a weird comfort in the fact that somebody is controlling things. Like they said on 9/11, like the idea that we were that vulnerable and got fucked that hard and genuinely couldn't stop it is frightening.
Yeah.
The idea that the government did it and couldn't is somehow oddly comforting, that even though the government is shit, at least they are in charge and protecting us. There was an ugly fear that, God almighty, we really did get our dick in our ass and did nothing about it to stop it.
We always thought there was some kind of safety in place.
We always thought it could be stopped.
And more importantly, homeless Ted Williams is on
now on CNN.
They're showing the video on CNN. This thing has exploded, and I'm telling you, this is going to end ugly for Ted Williams. I'm telling you, there's something else going on. Someone actually said really fast because it's on TV. Mike in Boston, go ahead, real fast.
Hey guys, if you replay the audio. When the homeless guy's talking about how he got his training and his education and his voice and all that other stuff, he then says he got into alcohol, drugs, and some other things.
Some other things is what they're going to look into.
What does he have going on there?
Those other things are what's going to get him.
I think a lot of media outlets are going to awkwardly cancel their interviews with Ted Williams within the next few hours.
We are not going to be speaking with him today. Something suddenly came up.
What do you think it's going to be?
Sex offense.
Really? You're going sex offense?
I'm going sex offense.
Maybe.
Yeah. Look at this. They got Scott. This guy's from Magic. Yeah, they got this guy. He's
We'll have all the details coming up in the
Wrong. All right, whatever. Yeah, they're all talking to this guy today.
Moose is on it.
We lose on this one. We try to get him on our show, but we're way late to the party. So, all right, Troy.
All right.
We want you to continue having questions.
Just keep thinking,
because there are people out there. I could go to the phones they're with you.
Yeah,
they have questions too. But I don't like that you just gave up on the birds thing within a day. You felt the pressure of the radio
he's being
show.
sarcastic. He absolutely.
All right,
is
so
not
what do you
giving
really
up on
think
the
is
bird
happening with the birds? Say it.
You got me, man. I have no idea. I have no idea.
How come you don't yell at him like you yell at me?
Because he doesn't sit there and go, every time I say something.
Well, you say dumb shit. That makes that it elicits that response.
What's the dumb? You're saying that I'm saying shit that didn't even happen, Danny. You're like, oh, I'm telling you to watch this. I didn't tell you to watch it.
Why are you so
making
up on this for? Why are you so mad at me today?
Because this is because every time I come in here and I say something that you don't like, this is what you do. Here, ready?
That's not ever what I do. I've never.
And then you huff and you puff.
Not only have I never done that. You gonna keep talking? You gonna keep talking?
There's no possibility just to have a regular discussion with you because
That's what I was trying to do.
Because you have little temper tantrums,
This is fucking
Danny.
radio. This is what radio is. You have fun conversations full of energy with other people. You don't just sit there and go,
why do these guys not throw temper tantrums and throw their microphones?
I want this so
no one is
badly.
throwing temper tantrums.
You
no
do.
one. And when I put the mic to the side, it's because I don't want to be, because the mic is on. I want to get the fuck away from me.
All right.
That's when I turn.
But there's a way of doing it like
there.
this and then throwing it.
No,
because you're pissed off about something.
You are so fucking wrong, bro.
Am I bro? Am I bro? Bro?
Not mine. I don't know what
you just call me bro.
Sorry,
am I your
I
bro?
didn't mean to.
Am I your bro?
I didn't mean it. It's a theory.
Oh, wow. Must be a
We'll
theory.
debunk it.
All right.
Oh, man.
Love you, Danny.
Cool.
Can't even look over there right now.
All right.
Who's getting an extended vacation from this conversation?
Hopefully me.
I predict a hospital stay as well.
It's a conspiracy.
Doesn't help that Danny made those, does it, Troy?
Ah, it's cool. I love it. Do another one.
No, I don't.
Do another one.
All right, Troy.
Thanks.
There goes Troy. And all his music is playing.
That's all. Oh, that's funny. That's all the funny stuff.
He's not happy.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what it is? I just don't think he can't do that to you guys, so I'm the only one in the room. That's all. Please.
Well, Sam was saying it. That it is easy to get him a little off kilter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Troy's a psychopath.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so
There's
too.
something going on there, man. I don't know. There's something going on under that great head of hair.
I love it. All right, why don't we take a break? Louis C.K. is here today.
Is he here now?
It's been a while. I don't know.
Very
We'll take a
good.
look during the break and see.
He might be the hottest comedian in the country.
Might. How about
He is fucking on fire.
How about he is? His appearances on TV are just fucking going viral left and right, man.
He's hysterical.
But I mean, he's selling out. He's doing 3,000 seats everywhere. His fucking film in Canada,
Yeah.
his stand-up film. He's on fire, man.
I saw him at Carnegie Hall. Fuck. Standing ovation. Just him and a stool. How do you do that at Carnegie Hall? Don't you need a big orchestra behind you to get a standing ovation?
I think so.
Right?
He kicks ass.
Unbelievable. So we'll talk to Louie next. We got lots of other things to do.
Where is he?
They're just people's comments that I saw.
Oh.
Where's Louie?
Can't win. I don't know. Is he here?
He's not here.
Oh, he's not here yet.
7 to 7:30. We'll have him when he gets here.
You all right? He's here.
Shit.
Okay, I'm making sure.
He's right there behind you.
No, it's not, you know.
Oh, Louie.
He's right there. He's walking down the hall. Oh, look.
The yawn look.
To this day, I'm mad at Grey Wolf. We had a hit on our hands. We needed another verse. And we tried for years, and it just never happened. That thing would have been a huge fucking radio hit.
That's why he was a bum.
Grey Wolf, homeless at the time, sang that song for Tippy Tom, who obviously is now dead, unfortunately, our favorite homeless person of all time.
Then maybe he can finish the song now, finally.
We've tried. We've put him in studios. It's ridiculous.
That can be done. That can absolutely be done.
We've tried many different ways. It just falls short every time.
Yeah.
We've had him in our studio, like, hey, man, just try to come up with something else. Drew Boogie took him in a studio. I think we took him in a studio here, like in a production room. We just tried and just could never, ever complete that song, unfortunately.
Can I answer a question that everybody's been asking me?
Yes!
It's about Atlantic City, The Late Show, January 15th. I'm not plugging it. It is almost sold out. It's not quite sold out. The Late Show's a tough sell, but we are extremely close.
I don't remember people asking.
Dude,
You're not plugging it.
Where were they asking?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't care. People go. Me, Burr, Attell, and Jim Brewer. And it's almost sold out for The Late Show. The first two are obviously completely sold, and the third will sell out. And other dates may be added in other places.
If they're
that's exciting.
If it's not completely sold out yet, you should probably plug it at some point.
Nah,
No?
they want to go to the Borgata.com for other reasons. That's their business.
All right.
I don't encourage people to go buy my
That's
shit.
noble of you to just not even plug it.
Forget I even said it.
I want to bring up Brewer for a second.
Who? Burr?
Jim Brewer.
Oh, Brewer.
He did the 25 Days of Christmas on YouTube. Those videos should have got way more views than it did. Fucking hilarious. And it also shows that Brewer's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Oh, we all knew that.
He plays a different character in every fucking video.
Really?
He's completely insane.
I think, we all know he's.
You might want to search that out
unstable.
if you're a big Jim Brewer fan, because the videos really, really are well done and not doing too well.
Hope the language isn't salty in them.
No, not at all.
Salty language.
Relatively clean.
Yeah, a little crazy.
But he plays a cougar. He plays
Really?
so many different characters. Cougar. Laugh out loud funny by our pal Jim Brewer. Yeah. What else is going on, Ant?
I saw that Wall Street 2 last night.
Michael Douglas.
So that, Michael Douglas.
What do you think?
I hate that Shia LaBeouf guy. I don't like that Shia LaBeouf. I don't like that Shia LaBeouf. I don't find him very credible as an actor.
Fuck, man. They love him, though, for some reason.
I know.
He's everywhere.
But it worked, I guess. I would have liked to seen somebody else in that. Michael
Schroeder, maybe?
Thought it was really good.
Yeah, what's Ricky doing these days? Why not Ricky Schroeder?
It's Rick Schroeder.
Bad suggestion, guy.
Let's get it going. Why not Ricky Schroeder? Let's get that on the internet.
a little predictable, but
yeah.
But it was kind of cool. It was kind of fun to see Michael Douglas in that role again.
Is it a drop off from the first movie?
Yeah, it's very hard to make a sequel that is as good as the original. But
is his cell phone smaller? That's all I need to know.
And they do make reference to his big phone.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, cell phone. Yeah, which is kind of funny.
That's good because that's
They you get to see it again.
What do you mean? Oh, they show the video of him on the beach with the big cell phone?
No, it's when he's getting out of prison at the beginning, and they're giving him his stuff.
Oh, they give him the big cell phone back?
And he goes, and one cell phone, click, and they clunk the big one down.
That's great.
This big dumb cell phone.
That's what takes you out of the movie when you go back and see the original Wall Street.
He's walking on the beach with that giant thing. Get 3 minutes of talk time on it, I'm sure.
Right.
Wow. That is an amazingly big phone. Like you know how they go in and they put the guns, they take the guns out of the hands and like E.T., they should actually just replace that with something smaller.
With a gun.
Like a Victrola.
To his head.
Right. That thing. And also, you got to remember when the original Wall Street was, out there, no one had cell phones. That's what made that so amazing.
Well, that's a home phone. That's not a cell phone, is it? That's a home phone.
A cell phone.
That's a cell phone.
That's
because he's walking the beach.
The first cell phones, portable cell phones that you walked around with.
That only really, really, really rich people had.
For the most part, people had cell phones, but they had car phones. You didn't even call it a cell phone. You said, I got a car phone. And it had the little pigtail antenna on the rear window or something, and
right,
and in the J.C. Whitney catalog, which was a great catalog if you wanted to soup up your car with something. You used to get the J.C. Whitney catalog, and I would thumb through that, going like, I'd love to have that for my Chevelle or something. It was just a bunch of crap that you put on your car. They'd sell these fake pigtail antennas that you put on your car to make people think you had a car phone.
That shit.
So you'd be driving and people would look over like, well,
damn, look at this
that guy's
guy.
got a fucking car phone, motherfucker.
Wouldn't that make people break into your fucking car?
Nah, it was the point people didn't even know what to do with these things.
Right.
Never mind, you're gonna steal them, what are you gonna do with it? You gotta get some kind of service. I don't know, but it was a car phone hooked into your battery. It was hardwired in. My father had one out in California when I went out there back in the 80s, and I was calling my friends, and I'm like, I'm driving this big fucking Suburban,
nice,
whatever it was,
old school Suburban.
No, an old Blazer.
Nice.
It was an old Blazer with the top off and shit.
I used to love my Blazer.
This was an old big 4-wheel drive Blazer, like a 70s version.
Square, right? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And big 4-wheel drive. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Where am I? I'm cruising around in Buena Park right now. I think I don't even know where the fuck I am, but I'm on a phone in a car. And my father's like, did you make calls? Do you realize it's like $18 a second
minute? Right.
for this fucking thing? Whether you get a call or make a call, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so they showed that in the movie, which was good. I thought it was kind of funny. But the movie was good. Decent
all right.
movie. You won't watch it and go like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah, people.
Which to me is a good movie these days. If you
It just hangs there, I think, because people don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
They didn't say it sucked, but they're not like real excited about it.
And I wasn't at the point where I needed to see it when it came out. I waited for it came, but not like True Grit. I wanted to see right away. And now that people are seeing it more and more, they're commenting on how he does sound exactly like Carl from Sling Blade.
The True Grit.
When he's talking.
Jeff Bridges and
Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is like the man now, though. He's in a lot of shit. He's getting accolades.
Yeah, man.
Could be, I would think for True Grit also, I do think I see some Academy Award material.
Shit, we're talking Oscars already?
I think I see some Academy Award material in there. Some acting is very good. The girl was very good, I thought, in that movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it yet. I got
It's my little movie break.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, someone's calling you white trash because of the J.C. Whitney catalog.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Long Island. I lived on Long Island.
But it brings up a good...
Love that J.C. Whitney catalog when I was growing up.
Brings a good topic to the table. The dumbest gadget for your car that was out there.
Oh, the J.C. Whitney catalog was full of them.
Do you remember the one where you mounted it and it was, I want to say it was a bomb sound effect, I think? And
yeah.
And you pushed it if someone was pissing you off in traffic.
And it would be like...
But they, of course, the person pissing you off wouldn't hear it. It's just you and in your stupid car.
Yeah.
Make it believe you're firing missiles at the car.
Missile.
Do you remember that?
Yes, it was horrible.
Is that the sound it made?
Yeah, it made some bad fucking
If we could find that on
Atari sound
online, that would be great. I'm trying to think of some of the other dumb fucking gadgets they had.
Yeah, there were
that came and went.
There were a lot of them in that stupid catalog, like bolt-on accessories, things that were supposed to make your car look better.
Right.
A lot of spoilers.
Yeah.
People like those spoilers. Yeah, God, I'm trying to think of some of those.
We could start with like the bumper bra, obviously, that dumb thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was just looked exhausting to put on your car.
Horrible.
Yeah.
There was a little sign that you would hold up and flip things over, like, "Hey, you cut me off."
Oh, really?
Why you? And it wasn't even electronic.
Here we go. They're calling. Joe in Boston. Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
When you have a turbo in your car, it spools up and makes this noise. Well, they used to sell this speaker you'd mount on the inside of the engine compartment, and when you hit a button, it would make that fucking noise.
Make a fake turbo sound.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Later, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I think we gave up on all those gadgets. What was the decade for the gadgets? 80s, maybe?
70s,
70s
through late
80s.
70s, 80s. That was
when the 90s hit. They finally said enough of this horse shit.
I got the Baja Bug kit for my Volkswagen. I used to go out and buy like a 67, 66 Volkswagen Beetle and just take the Sawzall to it. And then you bolt on these fiberglass fenders and the back, you cut the whole back so the engine was exposed, cut the front off and put the nose piece on. And I had one of those for quite a while. And that came from the J.C. Whitney catalog. I was so excited when it showed up.
I can imagine.
Oh, like a kid in a candy store.
Let's say hi to Bill in Georgia. Bill.
Hey, what about the double wiper blades that had the louvers on them?
Yeah, the louver. Those,
right.
Those were the faster you drove. They were supposed to hold the wiper blade closer to your windshield tighter.
Right.
And rear window louvers were big too. Bolt-on rear window louvers, and of course install it yourself moonroof. That would leak like it was raining in your car.
What do you mean you installed it yourself?
Yeah.
You got to cut the hole?
They give you a template, and you fucking put it on the roof. And,
Get the I don't remember that.
And you get your Sawzall, and you fucking cut that shit out. Louis C.K.
Has just entered the studio.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, you cut it out, and then it never looked good. The headliner inside the car would all start falling down.
Oh, of
course. It would
course.
come out from the flange because it was never tight enough. It was never watertight.
How'd you cut the hole?
With a Sawzall.
You had to have that.
Oh yeah. You got to have your equipment.
You had to have your tools to put in your own
tools.
sunroof.
Oh yeah. A lot of that good shit, though.
Fucking Louie, man. You're like really famous now.
Yeah, I know. When he walked in,
you're like
I'm
really
looking-
famous. I'm like, holy
I was
shit.
looking a little
I got
a little
I
different
got a
at
little
him when he
nervous.
came
I
in.
got a little nervous.
I was a little like, oh, shit.
We've had Louie on so many times, but now I'm looking at him differently. Like, God, he's really
That's that
famous.
Louis C.K. guy. I watch his show, and
He does a Leno show, and then that clip goes viral, and holy shit, you're famous.
Crazy.
My
I'm
God.
not
Funny or
famous.
Die loves
I'm
you.
not famous.
I'm not.
You're really
Nah,
famous.
you're pretty fucking
No.
famous there,
Holy
Louis.
shit,
Well,
you're famous.
Yeah, don't worry. We won't jinx it for you, but yeah. You got
I'm surprised you're even here. You're that famous. You're not supposed to do the show anymore. You're that famous.
It's so funny how people don't ever see the cycle coming. You know what I mean?
Oh, the up and down?
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I see it already.
Are
I
you
already
ahead
see
of-
the horizon.
Do you see the
coming.
horizon?
Yeah.
Do you see the dip?
Yeah, the not sun rising on the horizon. I already see it.
Louie, I saw you at Carnegie Hall. I didn't want to bother you after the show.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking standing ovation. And
That was pretty fun, man.
But it's just you dressed like shit and a stool getting a standing ovation. I'm like, shouldn't there be an orchestra or something to get a standing ovation?
Yes. No, I'm wearing the same right now, the same clothes I wore.
Yeah, you didn't dress up for Carnegie Hall.
No, I
Why
pulled
would you?
this shit on to be on the radio. I wore the same thing for Carnegie Hall.
I was amazed. I'm like, that's why Louis is as good as he is, because he's not
He
dressing
never
up for
wears suits,
Carnegie
right?
Hall.
You
Never. And the thing is, when I play rooms that size, like the tour I just finished was all rooms that size or bigger. In Chicago, I did the Chicago Theater. I did 2 shows there.
Wow.
But,
How big is that?
That's like 3,600 seats. So it was like 7,000 people in one night. And it was the perfect way to get ready for Carnegie Hall, is that by the time I got there, I'm like, well, I've been doing this kind of room. But nothing prepares you for that place, because Chicago Theater, it's enormous, it's beautiful, but it's in the middle of shit Chicago, and the dressing room is peeling paint, and Joey Ramone signed the coffee table, whatever, which I love. That's what I love. But you go to Carnegie Hall and they show you into the Maestro Suite, which has this gold plaque on it, and this guy bows as you walk through the fucking door, and it's like, oh my God, there's a whole other. And if Yo-Yo Ma plays there, he doesn't go to the Maestro Suite. He goes to the fucking musician room.
Right.
You're in the Maestro Suite.
Yeah,
you're the main guy. You're the guy.
George Gershwin fucking got blown in there. And so yeah, it's a whole other level.
It was such a great show, and I want to give props to Ted Alexandro. Is he doing all your?
I hired him
for the tour.
No, he did. I toured with him some last year, and this year I worked with Todd Glass a lot and some other guys. But
I saw Ted. I just want to give him props. He's
a funny dude, man.
He didn't
did
know.
great at
I
Carnegie.
hired him the day before
to do Carnegie.
Yeah,
what an asshole.
I know.
What an asshole.
I couldn't decide who to open for me, and I figured I can get anybody. But then I got close, and I'm like, no, folks aren't really actually available.
Right.
And I wrote Ted. I love Ted. I just couldn't decide. And then I wrote him the day before and said, I need you at 8 o'clock tomorrow at 57th Street and 6th Avenue. That's all I said to him. And he looked it up.
I'm playing the coffee shop?
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's really, it was funny because he just wrote back, okay. And that was it. Like, he knew what it was. He just went, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's shitting his pants as he's writing okay.
But he wore a suit. And his
Yeah, he
dad
did.
came. It was
Yeah,
great to have that Ted got.
Did you feel bad not having a suit? Cause I wear that sometimes, and I'm like, it doesn't feel right. But you just do it because you like. I think I'm supposed to.
You feel obligated.
Well, I want to wear suits. I wish I could wear a suit. Like the image in my head, of being on stage in a suit and tie. Is really cool.
That's class.
Yeah, that's class.
It's all class.
But then when I wear one, I feel just weird, and my shirt starts coming out of my pants, and I don't
wear a t-shirt under it. Like I don't wear a tie. I can't wear a tie. It's too fucking restrictive.
Yeah.
Honestly, it works for Lou. It really. Just works.
I wish I could dress up. I just don't. I don't pull it off, and I wish I did.
I think your act and your personality is more conducive to just casual wear.
Yeah, last time I did the Tonight Show, I brought a suit and tie, and I put it on.
It said, fuck this.
And then the last second...
Wow, really?
I was like fucking, what's his name, in Cold Blood, pulling off my, having to pee before I get hung. I ripped everything off and ran out.
Good for you.
Yeah, man. I can't do it. First time I did Letterman, I wore a suit. And I remember Mitch, what's his name, the comedian here.
Hedberg?
Yeah. He came up to me and said, "Why'd you wear a suit? You don't wear suits." And I was like, "Well, it's a respect for the institution." To me, doing Letterman was like graduating from something.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That's phony. If I did Letterman, I wear sneakers and jeans." I'm like, "Well, go ahead. I don't know. I wanted to wear a suit." It's like, "Well, it just isn't you." And I'm like, "Well," and then he did Letterman. He wore a fucking suit.
He did.
Yeah.
What a downer, though.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm trying to enjoy my
I love when
moment.
people have these phony rebellions. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Wow, you and Anne Frank really.
Look, I got to ask you about the TV show. Where are we at? The first season was a huge hit.
Yeah, I did really great. I mean, only 14 people watch those things, but
No, man.
but it was well liked by all 14.
Everybody. That was one
You
of
did
those
numbers,
that was
didn't you?
just Fucking
Yeah, we
great,
did well
man.
for cable. Yeah, we did great.
FX is perfect place for you.
It's great. I wouldn't want more people to have access to the show, honestly.
Yeah,
I really
some
wouldn't.
people start bitching.
Yeah, like we are moving. We're doing a second season, and we're moving to 10:30 from 11, just inching back a half an hour. At first, they said let's go to 10. That's what they're going to. 10 is technically kind of primetime television.
Yeah.
So they're going to move it to 10, and because the numbers for the show are strong enough to move it to 10. That's what they told me. To then grow it. And then they said, we're doing 10:30. I'm like, what happened to 10? They said, well, no, we can't. Your show can't. They said, believe me, you're better off just stay.
Well, you don't want them fucking with it. You don't want them moving it to 10 and then going, all right, well, you can't do this, you can't do that.
That's
You have
exactly
total
right.
freedom, dude.
I'm exactly, if I was on any other network, at any other time period, I would not be able to do this show the way it is because the advertisers wouldn't buy it. He showed the guy at the network showed it to advertisers that buy 10 p.m. time, which is far more expensive than 10:30 time.
Fuck.
And they were like, "We're not. What are you crazy?
You're insane."
When's the second season hit? It's going to be a
guy
while.
fucks a hole in a wall and then talks about Jesus.
He puts his penis in the hole.
Yeah, we're not.
That dentist scene that you did was.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Thanks.
That was hysterical. Gervais
the
was
inferred mouth fuck.
Yeah.
I woke up from the dentist once and thought I feel like he
thought
fucked
something
my
like
mouth.
that, right?
my mouth.
I assumed it was based on something low.
No, that whole thing is true. It is that dentist thing. I took nitrous and lots of drugs, and I went in my mind to the desert.
Wow.
Met Bin Laden and talked him out of terrorism.
Talked him out of
I
it,
seriously had that experience so viscerally that when I came out of it and out of the nitrous, I was like, that's the realest hallucination or dream I've ever had.
That really happened.
Yeah.
Damn.
Exactly.
Ricky Gervais was great on it too.
Yeah, he's
Playing that
awesome.
And your reaction to him when he would just
Stuck
fuck
his
with
finger
you.
in my ass. And he's great.
And then he would get you again, and you'd get mad at him.
Yes.
It's fucking brilliant.
It was a fun.
When's
thing
the
to
second
do.
season going to hit? It's a few more months. I'm
June.
sure.
I start
June,
shooting
okay.
in a couple of weeks.
Great.
I already shot the stand-up for it. I did some stand-up. I did a show in Atlanta, and we shot the stand-up.
Oh, you're changing the venue.
Yeah,
For
I'm
stand-up.
still. I also did the Comedy Cellar,
Right.
but I like the. I mean, I do more concerts now than I do.
Right.
That I did then. So I just wanted to use.
Yeah, right on,
So
man.
sometimes you'll see me at a concert, and I'll probably also shoot at Caroline's again. And
You're really famous.
Dude, Louis, something happened where, like, Louis a famous guy, but something happened in the last, it was before the show. It started, I think, with almost like the set on Conan, talking about flying. Something just put you through the fucking roof, though. It was like that next, that put you that one level higher where you are just mainstream famous.
It might
now.
be the Sarah Palin drunk tweets.
those actually did a lot for me. Those did a lot.
Do you feel like
and I took them down?
I know, but do you feel like you could still do that, or you're a little worried about what?
Well,
the
no,
people
it
around you are
is
gonna
true
say?
that nobody. I mean, the thing that happens with notoriety is that at first you grow because more and more people like you. But then you get pushed over this edge where people start becoming aware of you that don't know who you are and that don't like you.
And take you
That's
out of
the dangerous
context.
thing about it is that, and
Yeah.
because I'd love to have only exactly all the people that are like me
Right,
to
yeah.
know who I am.
That'd be a great world to live in.
And that nobody who doesn't have me as a taste is aware of me. And actually, the internet, I think, lets people grow that way. There's people.
Yeah.
I did this tour. I did. We sold out every city easily with no advertising, which means you make more money because you don't spend that money.
Right.
But I was in Philadelphia and I did this show in this huge theater there. I forget what it was called. And this guy I know came and he was like, I don't understand. He's a big money guy. Like he invests and makes money. He says, I live in Philly. I never heard of this show. I never heard you're coming here.
Wow.
I don't understand how you sold out. And that's because exactly the people that like me know who I am, and nobody else does.
And they know where you are and where you're going to be. And,
but as I'm pushing a little further, there's people that don't like my shit that know who I am, and that's when shit like saying Sarah Palin has people coming out of her cunt or whatever it was that I said.
It was rather
Chinese
salty,
people
Lou.
living in her cunt. Yeah, it was a little unnecessary.
One of my favorite things
uncalled for.
Yeah,
one of my favorite things is when I get
barbaric attack.
when I get a tweet from someone going, "Oh boy, he's on a plane and he's drunk," and I go right to your Twitter and I just follow along.
Yeah. I am definitely like a stereotypical Indian with the rum. Something happens to me. Something happens to me.
Don't you feel
with
compelled?
rum, Coke and rum, I get riled up.
Yeah,
and I get a little crazy.
You feel compelled to just grab a drink the second you get on a plane.
Yeah, no,
I don't know
it's
what
a
that is
great
with
reason.
me. I'm like Bloody Mary guy. Like the second I get on a plane, can I have a Bloody Mary? And it's because I never really know or care what time it is. And a Bloody Mary you could have for breakfast.
No, that's exactly right.
So if it's 7 in the morning and I'm catching a flight or something, it's like, oh, Bloody Mary. And then you just feel good. You're clinking around your little drink and you're drinking, and then you start tweeting.
No, because there's something about alcohol and the mixture of oxygen on a plane.
That
is
must be what
deliberate.
it is.
It's not the atmosphere. The oxygen you breathe on a plane is mixed by a person. You know what I mean? They decide how much.
How much
you need. If they shut it off, you die. I mean, it's that's how that golfer dies. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to know.
So when you're drinking, the oxygen does.
There's something about the mix that, I mean, every plane probably has a mandatory mix. I'm sure there isn't a knob that the person can go, fuck these people. Like tweak it up or down.
I think it's factory set.
Hey, let's go to 13% on these fucking assholes.
They get a little rambunctious. Let's slow them down a bit.
Make them feel like they're on Mount Everest.
Lethargic.
Yeah, so airplanes are the only place that most human beings share that your oxygen level is totally regulated.
Yeah.
Because in this room, I'm sure it's less than outside.
This is a great discussion to have with the Secret Service someday if the wrong tweet is sent out. No, you don't understand. It's the oxygen was regulated. Combined with alcohol.
Exactly.
It was hammered.
I was reading those and I was like, Lou. Oh, Lou.
No, I
got a lot to lose
it was
now.
funny to me the first time I did it. It was funny to me that people got worried for me. Like I started sending them, and I immediately got a response from somebody at FX, a pretty high up executive at FX, wrote and said, "You got to take these down and apologize." I mean, this is within this. This is the great, amazing thing about today. I'm on an airplane, and not only am I communicating with the ground, but I am broadcasting to 250,000 people instantly through Twitter, and then getting instant angry feedback from and receiving it
at 35,000.
All of that is happening at 35,000 feet, and then
You were talking to way more than 250,000.
Because everyone was retweeting.
Yeah, they're passing along to other people.
It was funny, the indignation. I don't know this Louis C.K., but I don't like him. Some of the comments are very funny.
Some people got really angry. And also this show fucked me up with it. This show got me in trouble.
Of course it did.
Because the tweets themselves, people just thought were just childish and pathetic, which they were.
Yeah.
But somebody hooked it up with a YouTube sound video of this show where I said stuff about her kid with Down syndrome.
They'll always rat out like the fans. You got to realize, people.
We're the
shut
worst
up.
fans.
Be cool.
You raised a brilliant point with that, though.
Chill the fuck out sometime.
Where you said her age, the kid's age is not Down syndrome. You won't notice the difference at that age because it's so young. I think it was a brilliant point.
Here's the thing about it, because I said, the point I was making was that she's saying that there's joys and challenges to having a Down syndrome child. She was saying this during the election.
Yeah.
And at the time, her baby was very, very young, like, less than a month or something.
Right, yeah, it was very young.
And so who cares if it's a Down syndrome baby? Now, of course, I was doing it on this show, and it's not a political show.
No.
So I also said, who cares how many people came out of your retard making cunt? Like I salted it up a little. I made it a little spoonful of sugar is the way I was looking at it.
That was pepper on a substantial meal that you were serving.
Yes.
A little spice.
So, but anyway, all these like Breitbart and some big right-wing sites found that video and then hooked it up with the tweets and said he hates people with Down syndrome. That's why. Of course I do. That's why I went after her, because I just fucking hate those people. But so. And then I felt like I'm okay. I'm not saying anything. I'm ashamed. But then I got this fucking email from this guy who said, I want to start by saying I hate Sarah Palin. She's a terrible person. But what you said about children with Down syndrome is extremely hurtful. And I'm like, first, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't say anything bad about people with Down syndrome.
Right.
So I'm nearly deleting the email. And then there's a fucking picture of his daughter. And he says,
shit.
And he says, what you don't understand is that Down syndrome isn't just something that depletes a person's learning ability. It's a really difficult thing to cope with in life. And a baby with Down syndrome needs surgery often right after birth and medication that you can't believe how expensive it is. He says her birth was such a difficult thing for our family. It destroyed our family.
Like,
my wife and I broke up over the stress of it.
Wow.
But my daughter's the greatest thing in my life, and we're all, it's just pure joy, but it's so hard. And it's extreme. And he was so respectful that it was breaking my heart.
Yeah.
He never said, you filthy piece of shit. He just said, you're so wrong, you wouldn't believe it.
But it's like
you're so way off. You're spreading a thing that's really, really harmful. And I felt like such a piece of shit.
But he was making it real, and you're making it fun.
Yeah, but that guy might have
No, but
Louie,
I said, though, the one thing I said that was wrong, I don't like saying things that are just wrong. I mean, because it's not wrong that she has a retard making cunt, because that's what one came out of there. It's not a nice way of saying it.
It's not medical, but
of course not. They're technical jargon.
Go ahead, Dr. Lou.
The thing that was wrong to say is that there's no challenges to having a Down syndrome baby. I just didn't know that. And, we always say reckless shit. I don't care. I don't fact check my comedy.
Sure. No, you shouldn't have
the
to.
goal was a
you just
laugh.
let it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing is, that guy, he might have saved, because what he showed you was the passion that people feel about that, and it's like, they may have come at, like, that may have been a very helpful email in the long run. Like, sometimes you underestimate how frustrated people are with something, and then you hit it and they come after you, and it's fucking relentless.
The best thing would have been, like, 5 minutes later, get another email, go, I'm just fucking with you, with a picture of a beautiful daughter, just perfect.
Yeah. She's amazing.
This is my daughter. I'm just fucking with you. I don't care. I was laughing my balls off.
No, and I've gotten angry emails before, and I never care. It's not my lookout. Other people people choose what to get offended by. You know, people get offended by. I had a funny moment at the Comedy Cellar. I did this joke about 9/11.
Oh, I don't go for that.
You see? You see? I was doing a story about when I was married. It was really about how being married, you're in trouble all the time. You feel like you're in trouble when you're married, Anthony.
Constantly.
I don't get that sense from you. You guys seem like you're okay.
Yeah, we're all right, man.
Yeah.
I wish I had a story,
that's because you hit her, right? Because if you hit her, it's not. So it goes the other way.
What's better than when you go to scratch your eye and they flinch?
But honestly, my old relationship, I could relate. Yeah, you walked around feeling like you were in trouble. So you're hitting on something.
So I was in L.A. and at 6 a.m, my hotel room phone rang. My phone rang, and my wife at the time was crying. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Did she find a phone sex bill? She can't talk. And I'm like, what is it? And then she tells me, turn on the TV, and it's both the World Trade Center towers are on fire. And I was like, woohoo! Like, I was the only person.
Oh, shit.
I was the only person to be deeply relieved
that it wasn't something else.
That 2 planes were flown in the world.
Something wasn't. It wasn't
that America would never feel safe again.
That's a great show.
Anyway, I did it. I told that story at the Comedy Cellar, and this guy stood up in that little room and said, "That's not okay, man. It's not okay." And he walked out. So then I'm upstairs talking to Mark Maron, a comedian.
Yeah.
And I said, this guy told him the story, and I said, you know, I hate people that pick the thing in the show. That's what I'm offended by, because I said all kinds of shit in that show, and he let it go, but that's his sensitivity. So I said it's really narcissistic of people to decide what they're going to be offended by. And Mark said, that's how insane it is that you're calling that guy a narcissist, when that joke is the most narcissist thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's only important to
that
you.
You were pleased that thousands of people were dead because you weren't in trouble with your fucking wife, because you didn't know how to fucking face your wife.
Shit. That's really funny.
Once in a while, you get fucking shit. Like, I did a 9/11 joke. It was probably a year after, not even, and I was doing something, and it wasn't a knock on 9/11. It was like somebody misinterpreting it. But the woman in the audience...
It wasn't a knock on 9/11?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to insult 9/11.
Hey.
It was a brilliant program. I mean, it's one of the most successful things I've ever seen.
But it was one of those things where I knew the person was misinterpreting the point of the joke, and she was kind of like saying something, and the woman behind her was looking at me, and she was just shaking her head no, like don't do I started going after her, and the woman behind her was like, and I backed off, and then they told me after, like, yeah, her husband died, and so I was really happy I backed off, because I was gonna make it a whole big like thing like that, like, you fucking cunt, with the fuck, don't mind me talking about rape.
Right.
But once in a while you back off and you're happy you did. It's like, even though technically, all right, she was being annoying.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking to a group of people, and you could never be aware. You can't make people fill out a thing and then do a data report.
Right.
Well, that's why anybody that calls or however they get in touch with us and they say something like, you know, I'm a big fan of the show. I've been listening to it for years.
But that
when you said this, and it's like, you listened for years. You know how many fucking people we probably upset over the years that weren't you? You fucking idiot.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But and a lot also some people get offended just because they I'm sure there's 9/11 victims who find that shit funny. There has to be.
That has to be, right.
Like a lot of times when we make fun of these things, we're just using them as in a context. Mm-hmm. You know, the thing I said is about the misery. Marriage is so prohibitively constraining that a national disaster is good news.
It's not so much making light of the disaster, it's showing how awful marriage is.
It's also brutally honest. A lot of people have felt relief at something that wasn't affecting them that was worse for other people. You were just being fucking ugly and naked and honest about it. That's the beauty of it.
This is the most fucked up thing to say, but if you suffered,
you could have stopped the attacks and didn't.
I could have, but I wanted the bit. I had inside information. But I thought, God, that bit is so funny, I'm going to let it go. If you suffer directly or indirectly from something, you don't own it. You just don't.
No, you don't. You're right.
Unless your name is 9/11.
We have, all of us in here have goofed on things that have directly affected our lives. Sure. Personally affected our lives.
Of course.
And some of the things people know about, some they don't.
Yeah, but
whatever.
It's not
and
yours.
you just do it. It's not yours. It's not fucking, it's whatever it is. You put it over the air to make people laugh or think or whatever the fuck we're doing in here. But it's not, you know, I'm not singling out all the people that this will offend. Hey, let me offend some people today with this. No, I'm going for the people that it doesn't
and
affect.
again, if you took part in something or something, you suffered from something, that doesn't give you the right to, if it's a thing that happened in the war, especially something that happened to the whole country, you don't get to control who gets to say what about it. And by the way, you get to get offended about it. That's my main thing about people getting offended. Yeah, you got offended. So that gets to happen.
There's been
That's part of living on the earth.
But there's been this whole thing that's taken place over the past few years where people absolutely believe that there is a right
to not be offended, to not hear something,
and especially if it's over airwaves and stuff like that. They think that the FCC, they can complain to the FCC and say they were offended by something, and absolutely think that the FCC will go, "Hey, fuck you."
Well, you know, I subscribe to the thought that laughter really is the best medicine.
It's straight talking, Jim.
Yeah, you know,
right.
I don't want to.
Well, I remember I got an email once because of the Catholic Church video that I have on YouTube, where I go to the church and find out that they completely exist to fuck boys in the ass.
Hilarious, by the way.
And
fucking hysterical.
And I've gotten to number emails about that, and I had less than I thought I would.
Wow.
But it's funny that most people that complain about it, they'll say, Jesus is Lord and you've offended him, and I'm going to crack your fucking head open, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I get that all the time.
Which is really an
people
odd
say,
little...
from a Christian point of view, you've hurt Jesus,
Yeah.
and I'm going to fucking split your head open, you cunt. Like, they're so profane and so threatening.
That forgiveness shit goes out the window when it comes to religion.
But anyway, one guy
church-like.
wrote to me and said, my uncle is a Catholic priest and you insulted him. And I wrote him back and I said, no, I don't know your uncle.
It's not like I didn't insult him.
No,
personally.
I made a broad joke about a whole group, and it's got nothing to do with your uncle. And he wrote back and said, I know, and then we wrote back and forth, and we figured it out.
And you two fagged out? What happened? I don't like the end of that story.
I got to interrupt because we got Ron Perlman outside the studio.
He's out at 8:15.
He only has a few minutes, so we should get him in as well. By the way, as Ron makes his way into the studio, Louis C.K. Hilarious will make its network television premiere this Sunday night at 10 on Comedy Central.
Yes.
Hearing great things about Hilarious.
I've seen it.
What's up, Ron?
It is hilarious.
And it's going to be on CD and DVD Tuesday, January 11th.
Perlman.
Louis C.K. But first, we got Ron Perlman in the studio.
Hey, how you doing? How are you? Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Ron Perlman, huge fan of Louis C.K.
We're on the same network, this guy.
Yeah.
The FX.
I know. Unbelievable with the Sons of Anarchy.
That show was so good.
I don't fucking know.
The same place.
Sons
They're
of
very
Anarchy.
liberal-minded, those guys.
Yes.
And stupid.
That's crazy.
What's up, Ron?
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, man. Been
Welcome
watching
to the
Ron
show.
for years.
Good to see
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. One of my favorites. I got to just bring it up real quick. Alien. What was it? Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
No, that was one of the franchises I managed to close down. I went through a spate of that. I closed down a lot of venerable old institutions. Star Trek, they never made another one of those.
That was done. They had to reboot the whole
What I'm
start
proudest
over 'cause of
about,
you?
and this is probably more public service than anything else, was I closed down the Police Academy franchise.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
You're on the
really
last one of those?
Yeah.
You should get a trophy for that.
Definitely the last one of those. And I take personal credit for it, too.
But look at what you're doing with like Hellboy. People love Hellboy.
I closed that one, too.
I liked it. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
You're in the island of Doctor Moreau. How nuts was Brando to be around?
Brando was actually he was like the Rock compared to some of the shit that was on that set.
That's one of the weirdest movies I ever saw.
That was like, after Heaven's Gate, the biggest clusterfuck in movie history.
Really?
Yeah.
Did him and Val Kilmer not like each other? There was something between him and Val Kilmer?
I really can't comment. One of them is still alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that movie was crazy.
Yeah.
That movie just started feeling like you were just hanging around that island after a while.
You actually felt like you were there?
should have been there. It was. I mean, they actually hired me. I was really in essentially one scene and then a couple of little pops, and I was, my deal was for 3 weeks. I ended up being there for 4.5 months.
Oh my God.
And, at one point I just turned to the director and said, what the fuck is going on? And he goes, well, and it was the great John Frankenheimer, one of his last assignments. The great late John Frankenheimer. But he was like an old school dude, just completely like not part of the 21st century at all. And, although this was the early 90s, so he was entitled, I guess. He says, well, Marlon says, give it to the guy from Quest for Fire. I said, give what to the guy? He says, every one of Val's lines. Just give it to him.
The guy from Quest.
That guy can act. So I said, I may be here for the rest of my born days, right? He goes, possibly, Ron.
Oh my God.
You're in Season of the Witch.
That's true.
Is the new movie that's coming out? Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Nicolas Cage. What a movie machine he is. Jesus Christ.
He makes a lot of films.
He does make a lot of goddamn
Guy's got to be
films.
pulling in $300-400 grand a year.
Perhaps more than that, Jim.
He seems.
You think that much? He's I think he's working on 3 right now.
Jesus.
Simultaneously.
He's going to start doing them live after a while.
No, that's me. I'll come to your house if you can't go. I'll do the whole fucker. I play all the parts.
When is that opening up?
It opens Friday.
Friday
the 7th. Yeah.
And who are you? Who are you in that?
I'm his buddy.
Oh, really? Is this a stretch?
It's a buddy film. It's a lot of things. It's but essentially, what was most attractive to me was that he and I are these 2 warrior knights in the Crusades, and we've been fighting kind of shoulder to shoulder for like 12.5 years, and so. It's on that level. It's a buddy movie, and then it's kind of like Bing Crosby and Bob Hope road picture.
On the road.
We are all things to all people. And then there's a little witchcraft, a little this, a little that, a little song and dance.
When you got into acting, did you think, because you have become kind of this action star guy.
Yes, at 60 I turned.
Or at 60?
Just when I can't do anything about it, they actually want me to run up hills.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, because I've noticed over the years, like at first, early on, you weren't really cast in the action roles, and now, a little later in your career, I guess.
Well, everyone else has died off. Is what's happened.
That's what it is. So they're giving you the parts.
Yeah, if you hang out long enough, you're the only one that's left on that list.
And you were like one of the most well-known, unrecognized people on Beauty and the Beast years ago.
Yeah.
When you're on that TV series. How was that? That must have been. Was it frustrating for you?
No, actually, just the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, I you see guys like Nick Cage really have to give thought to their every movement. They just, and I'm at the, the Gelsons in L.A. at, 2:00 in the afternoon and no one cares.
No.
I mean, I can go anywhere. I can, to this day, and do anything. I have never had to make an alteration to my, sordid lifestyle.
You're pretty recognizable, though. Jesus.
Well, yeah. I think the FX show, which is the same
Sons of Anarchy,
Louis on, has magnified the profile. But I mean, I was able to basically move through life, unfettered, because just nobody gave a shit.
Fucking honesty, I love it.
Holy shit!
Hey,
it's a little too early in the morning to lie.
You know what? More of that. Let's say hi to Bill in Boston. Bill.
Hey, Ron, I just want to let you know that I love your work on Sons of Anarchy, and I really like the Mutant Chronicles. I really enjoyed that movie. Thanks for all your work.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.
All right. You have a question, or you just want to kiss his ass? I guess that's it.
No question.
All right, no question.
Have a nice day, Bill.
He just loves Sons of Anarchy and everything.
And the Mutant Chronicles.
And of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Who will ever forget?
What do you? I guess a lot of people. Wait a minute.
Bill didn't forget.
What do you like watching? What kind of shows you enjoy?
I'm a kind of a. I've turned into a political junkie a little bit. But
Really?
But I get all my news through MSNBC because I'm like, I'm a lifelong, lower middle class Jew lefty from Upper Manhattan. So I like having my news filtered through, a blue lens
through the liberal.
So I'm a Chris Matthews freak. Watch that show, TiVo that show every day, and when I'm on my own time, it's just Turner Classic Movies, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's my antidote to a cold, hard, really cruel world.
Really?
To go back and watch old black and white movies and go, Humphrey, Carrie, Bert. That's it, man. I mean, it's just another time and place.
A simpler time. Yes.
It seems like it was. It seems like it was. There was a little order of the universe back then.
Little English people with high collars arguing very politely.
Yeah, with their little pinky out.
I was watching one of those movies, and there was these English guy in trial for murder, and the lawyer's supposed to be a brilliant, arguer or whatever, debater. You're better than me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I put it to you that you murdered her. And the guy says, I put it to you that I didn't. I put it to you that you did. And everyone's like, ooh.
A lot of people are putting it to a lot of other motherfuckers.
Got some people booing that you said MSNBC there, Ron.
Oh, really?
Fuck them.
Well, politics will absolutely divide everybody and get them.
Yeah, but it's like a
going for
sports
the throat.
team now.
Right.
Yeah,
Fox
it really is.
News
That's all it
versus
is.
MSNBC.
Yeah, that's all it is. You're right.
Fuck the Red Sox, boss. Stupid.
Yankees, Red Sox.
It has
Start buying your MSNBC jersey now.
Yeah, because ask that guy, why don't you like it? Well, because just liberal. What is it about liberals you don't like? Just because it is bashing Bush. And he's not even president anymore. Yeah, but liberal. It's the same. And it's the same on the other side. Why don't you like Fox News? Just because just conservative.
Just like all of a sudden,
conservative.
It's just like, yeah, you just went gay when he talked about
No, it's California. It's not gay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
he's going with the California.
It's just conservative.
I slip into that all the time myself.
No, I do too.
Are you involved politically at all in any?
Just in my
anything,
living
or-
room.
Just in your living room, your armchair
I yell
kind
and
of.
scream. I'm very politically involved in my car.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you could yell and scream. Do you check in on what the other side's talking about and doing? Get yourself
Absolutely
annoyed.
not. Absolutely not.
No? Really?
No, I just don't. I don't give a fuck. It's all poppycock to me.
Is it? What do you think? Does it affect you in any way? Do you really think it affects you in any way personally? Who's in charge? Like now, today, as a matter of fact, the Republican House is going to be sworn in. Do you think that is going to affect you any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, they're not swearing in anybody else because just the Republican House.
Just the Republican House.
Do I think? I actually do. I really do. I really do think that that government plays a role in people's everyday lives. You look at things that are historic landmark, sweeping legislative victories. Like the Civil Rights Act and Medicare and Medicaid and all that stuff. And even the abolishment of slavery, which were things that really affected the whole sort of not just spiritual,
affected the South,
but
a little bit.
And it always came with these horrific, bloody fights, and there are still people today that are railing against FDR, fucking socialist cocksucker.
Welfare state,
hey, that's just sorry to interrupt you, but slavery emancipation, was that a piece of legislation or was it an executive order? How did he? It never occurred to me. How did he do it?
It ended up to be an amendment to the Constitution.
It was an amendment to the Constitution
because the original Constitution allowed for slavery, and in order to. The Civil War was the execution of, the unearthing of the illegality to secede from the Union, number one, and number two, then, they needed to add an amendment to correct
So how do you when you put an amendment, Congress has to do that, right? Or
Congress has to do that.
The vote has to be a huge lopsided vote or something.
Some guy just sneaks in the middle of the night and writes it and goes, "No, that was here."
That was here.
You didn't see this?
In fact, John Boehner was in office back then.
Good old Boehner.
Well, politics are very polarizing. How many times have I said that, Lou? Hundreds.
It really is, though. But I know some actors really get on board. Like Sean Penn is going down there and meeting with Chavez, and he's always going over the Middle East and.
He's consistent. I don't agree with him, but I'll say this: he's a very consistent guy.
He is consistent,
and he's a fucking amazing actor. So it's like I love his work. He's a guy who I find annoying, but I love him so much. His work is so good. It's like you can't not like the guy.
Yeah, because some actors that are into politics, it seems like they're just trying to find more lists that they can get on.
Yeah.
It's not really about the cause. It's like like when I hear that the White House briefed Barbara Streisand, I'm like, don't fucking waste all these people's time.
You're doing that.
That's why I like.
She just wants to know that she can jet into D.C.
That's why I like Ron just does it from his living room.
Right. I think that there are people who spend their lives, professionally doing that, and I have a different life choice professionally, and it's not. I also think that it's not necessarily helpful when entertainers get involved in things that they shouldn't. You see some of these like guys that appear before Congress to testify about their pet peeve, and that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't think that helps.
Yeah, I don't think it's helpful. I think the best thing I can do for somebody I support is stay as far the fuck away from them. Because what happens if they don't like a movie I did?
Yeah,
that guy's going to lose votes.
It's an awful way for a cause to get shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Police Academy 8 stunk so bad.
Yeah, fuck the unborn. That movie stunk.
That's right. So I just quietly.
Well, I mean, there's a reason I have a lead by example bumper sticker on. I mean, that's the way I feel.
Jimmy's disgusting me today. Are you getting a lot of bikers getting in touch with you and stuff? Are there some frightening people that you've met because of Sons of Anarchy?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
yeah. They're frightening, but they're showing us a huge amount of love.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Are there any that don't like you? Or are there any that feel like that's not the way we are, man?
No one has emerged so far that doesn't like. I'm sure there are people sticking, pins in dolls, Ron Perlman dolls, Hellboy dolls, No, I've actually, we only work 5 months a year, which is the beauty of working on FX. You only do 13 episodes, so you have a lot of time to do other stuff. And between the second and third season, I was like all over the United States doing various other projects. And every time it became known that I showed up in like Albuquerque or Illinois, something like that, I would get a message, the guys want to sit down, and have a little sit down.
Oh, shit.
And I go, I'm, let me give you a call.
Yeah.
So I've yet to take advantage of it, but
flight out of it.
That's when you realize how insignificant what the New York Times has to say about your work is.
Yeah.
Well, But when the bikers actually endorse you and say, we're not that thrilled that there's, because, they're outlaws essentially at the end of the day, and they'd rather stay off the grid and off the radar, but they have shown us a huge amount of support for how nuanced the show is, how ungratuitous the show tries to stay, and how,
that you don't stereotype it and just paint a typical picture.
That we're, because pretty much every time you've seen anything with bikers, except for like Easy Rider, which was like not really a biker thing. It was just two guys on bikes, but it's usually pretty superficial. It's usually just like they use the world for ends that don't really service the world or that stereotype the world.
Right into a town.
Do you remember Joe Namath made a biker movie?
Oh, damn.
CC Rider.
CC Rider.
He made the biker movie.
And they show him walking through a supermarket and like grabbing a milk carton and drinking it and then throwing it on the floor and just like pushing people around a little bit.
He was crazy in that.
Crazy biker guy.
Oh, God.
Joe Namath. This show is so good, though. Have you watched it?
Sons of Anarchy.
It's so good. And I don't keep up with anything regularly. I just don't have time, and I've got kids and stuff. But
very busy man.
Every time it comes on, every time I see it, I think I can't, because a lot of dramas are too intense and too involved. And you'll see guys talking, and the scene's like this low talking. Cyrus wants to meet on Tuesday, but do we have the chips to, leverage him? And I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? But when I watch that show, I watch for 2 more minutes, and then I'm like, wow, they got to get Cyrus to meet. What's going to happen to him?
I hope Cyrus doesn't decide to be a no-show.
Yeah.
Do you ride?
I don't ride well. I'm not. That guy, it's funny because there's the whole rest of the cast that just loves the bikes, and then there's me. That's just
not big
an
on
actor playing a part.
Yeah,
but you have to ride.
You have
in certain
to ride.
scenes.
You
Yeah,
have to ride.
Are you like, let me go straight,
And then could you get someone in here to make the turn for me?
Well, they hired me to do this part while I was doing a movie in Romania. So I literally for the pilot, and which segued right into the first season of filming, I got off a plane on Sunday night and on a Harley Monday morning. Had never been on a bike before in my life.
And those are heavy bikes to start on.
Yeah, my bike is just shy of 1,000 pounds. So
Did you regret riding motorcycles under special skills on your resume?
Yeah, I did. That and horseback riding. I pretty much lied about whatever you can think of.
Juggling, French.
The only thing I really never lied about was the knitting.
That's hard to fit that into the show.
I've never done a movie about knitting. All these years. I just took so much time out of my youth to learn how to purl and whatever. Anyway, so the first season, you'd see me pulling out in a really dramatic fashion, and then you'd see me pulling in. And the rest of it was, the back of some stunt guy's head.
Stunt guy.
Then in the hiatus for the second season, I actually spent some time on a bike. Tried to find a little bit of a comfort zone, which I'm still terrified of that particular
bike.
It's scary.
I'm terrified.
I like a little metal around me when I'm driving on the road.
This machine pulling you by the arms.
I mean, I don't even like going
nasty.
Pulling you by the arms.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I used to have one, and I rode a motorcycle for like 2 years in New York City. And I was never totally unscared. I was always a little. I wanted really badly to get in an accident that wouldn't hurt me. Like that was my fantasy, and it's exactly what happened to me. I cracked the bike up really badly, and I was fine.
You can't.
So I could say, "Oh, I don't."
I'm done. You just can't be on alert that long.
No,
every day.
Can't scratch your nose.
You can't have like this.
No.
Sometimes when you're driving your car, you could just kind of drift off a little as long as your peripherals are working. On a bike, it's just like constant fucking on a state of alert.
Like I was in a helicopter once doing a show in Western Pennsylvania, and the guy, he's just holding up the joystick with both hands, and he says, I'm just chatting with him about how it works, and he goes, well, if I have a muscle twitch and let go, we just drop out of the sky.
Oh, great.
We would just fall.
Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah. Oh, you should have said to him, hey, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said. That would have been a lighthearted way to show my fear.
Many years ago, I was going to do a film about, like these Long Island bikers. And so I needed to learn how to ride. And I was still living here in New York at the time. So I took this safety course, which you're required to take first to learn how to ride the bike, but then you got to spend all this classroom time because you got to take the written test because you got to get the license, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we walk into the classroom experience, and the first thing the instructor says is, "Who here can say what the percentage of people who ride a bike get into a crash?" So one guy says 20%. He says a little higher. And this goes on and on and on. Finally, he says, "Nobody? 100%."
Really?
And he wasn't jiving, man. I mean, if you ride a bike, you are going to crash.
At some point in your bike
you are
riding
gonna
career,
crash.
you'll crash.
And you could be phenomenal at it, but other drivers are not looking for bikes.
Mm-hmm.
People are like changing lanes like crazy.
The classic is the left turn in front of people. People will just... I drive a fucking Escalade, and people turn left in front of me. Like, what are you doing?
They can't see you.
This thing is barreling
No, and on a
down.
motorcycle, you're only on two wheels. So if you have a slight hitch in the flow of your driving, you fall down.
Yeah.
And in a car, if you have like, oh, whoops, then you just sort of...
But there's nothing more challenging than riding a Harley and trying to send a text message back to your manager.
Have you tried doing
I'm
that
running
one?
late,
I had a moped accident when I was 15. I did.
Wow, really fitting in, Jim.
I don't want anybody to be alarmed, but I had one when I was 15. I flipped off the top, and I said, I'll never get on a motorcycle. It just scared me.
You never were on a motorcycle?
I was on a moped. That's what I'm saying. I would never do it after that. It scares me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Sometimes I still wake up screaming.
Was the motor running, or were you in pedal mode?
Literal fucking asshole I am. I almost answered you. No, the motor was running. All kidding aside. I shouldn't joke about this. I really am a jizzbag.
A motorized vehicle that you can also pedal.
We got Ron Perlman in studio. We got to let him go in a few minutes, but John in Jersey has a great question. John.
Hey, Ron, just want to say love the Sons of Anarchy and all your work in some of the other movies. My question is, honestly, how big are Katie Seagal's cans? Are they really as big as they look?
It's a great question.
You know, I never looked.
never
I never looked. It's just about the eyes.
Of course.
It's all about, eye to eye.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, what do you think, John?
Extremely large. I'm just wondering if I could get a size or something like that.
He needs it for his spec bubble.
Probably best for
Exactly.
you to go to katieseagal.com.
Yeah.
And I think there's a little column on the left which says measurements. You have to log in. I don't know. I really don't know.
Hey, Ron, have you ever
I'm
done
trying to save my job here.
It's a funny thing. It's such a dumb thing to ask.
It really
about
is.
something
Great
that you know.
question.
That girl looks like she's got big tits. I got a question. Does she have big tits? Does she?
I know.
I mean, I see her and her tits are really big. So are they big? I just want to know if her tits are big.
We don't. I will say this, John. There's no CGI on the show. It's all
deal with that
digital video.
We got to get Ron out of here because he's doing TV. Where are you going next, Ron?
He's all over the place.
WPIX.
Oh, look at you.
The original home of the New York Yankees.
That's right.
Yes. When the Scooter used to do the games before leaving in the third inning.
Holy cow.
You New Yorkers.
Yeah, I talk Scooter. Whoever doesn't listen.
Scooter would leave, though.
Say hi to Jill Nicolini over there for me.
Thank you. I sure will.
Yes.
But, I go back to when Red Barber was doing Yankee.
I don't remember Red Barber.
Red Barber here.
Yeah.
It was Frank Messer, Bill White, and the Scooter.
Yeah, no, well, that's like
70s.
For me, like third generation. It was originally the Scooter was just segueing into being an announcer. He had just stopped being the shortstop.
Oh,
when I started watching the games.
Wow.
Pre-money store.
Yeah, in fact, they hadn't invented cleats yet when I started watching Yankee games. That's not true.
No.
But anyway,
isn't that distressing that we all went really?
Yeah,
really.
but it was Mel Allen, they'll never be the better voice of the Yankees.
Mel Allen.
This Week in Baseball is where I know him from. I didn't know him as a Yankee announcer.
Yeah, he was the Yankee announcer through my entire because I started watching games during the real heyday of the franchise, which was in the 50s, which is the entire career of Mantle. Most of Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford.
How fucking old are you? You're not that old.
You're in really good shape.
Yeah.
For what you remember.
Yeah.
Those memories usually fit inside of a really disgusting bag of shit.
I know.
Yeah. What a bunch of queers we are. Really? You saw Scooter play? You have a great body for that.
No, I mean, my dad walked me into a Yankee game, my first game on 1952. So I don't mean.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's why you got your action films later in life, because now that you've gone gray and your whiskers look hard beaten, it's more interesting to see you chomping a cigar and fucking with somebody, looking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you want to see a guy that looks like this. It's got the copper in his blood has started showing in his hair a little bit. It's more interesting.
He's got the look where he has the experience of fucking people up for a lot of years.
Exactly. That's somebody you want to watch a guy punch in the face.
That's a compliment, right?
I don't want to watch whenever Leonardo DiCaprio balls up his little fucking boy fists and punches somebody.
Yeah.
You see the guy who reel back oh, and you're like, nah, he didn't hit you that hard.
Yeah.
But Ron Perlman fucks, he's one of those guys who you could actually believe that he could just turn your head and kill you, that thing.
That
snap. Yeah.
I want to see a fist that's been holding cock since the 50s punch somebody.
That actually didn't start till 61.
All right. But after Mantle had already...
once Mantle was gone, it was just me and my cock.
Oh, fuck. We got to get Ron out of here, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wow.
Season
Ron.
of the Witch. It's in theaters this Friday.
With Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And FX, Sons of Anarchy.
Great show.
It's a great show, absolutely. And, of course, all our other wonderful Ron Perlman gems that we love so much.
Thank
he
you so
says,
much.
he ruined the franchise, but I love that goddamn Alien Resurrection.
Yep.
And I think, at that point, the franchise was done anyway. I don't think you had anything to do with it. You played a badass in that. I like that. That was a good one.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. It's been
Thanks,
a pleasure
Ron.
being here,
All
guys.
right, Ron Perlman, everyone.
All right.
Fucking laughing our balls off. A little taste of Louis C.K. doing Hilarious, which is going to be on TV Sunday night at 10 p.m. on Comedy Central. And then on Tuesday, you can get the CD and or DVD, Hilarious. And we got Louis C.K. in studio today. fucking laughing hard at that shit.
Thank you.
So fucking funny, man.
Thank you.
Damn it.
Well, that was 2 specials ago now.
Yeah.
All right, stop bragging.
I mean that it's old.
It's old in his mind, but that
Yeah,
shit
it's old in his.
is as current as anything.
We took
It's
this as a
timeless.
movie. This is the one we took to Sundance as a movie.
Oh, really?
It was the first
Right.
stand-up performance film that showed at Sundance.
Wow.
And did really well there. It was fun.
That saloon shit is just great.
The vagary of the Old West.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Goddamn Louie. I hate funny people.
How's the personal life? How's the daughters? Everything
They're
good there?
great. My kids are great.
Yeah.
My daughter's, the oldest one is in 3rd grade, and the other one's in kindergarten. They go to the same school now, which is a massive savings of time.
Oh,
I
with
used to
the,
walk them
walking
to
them
2
to
different
school,
schools.
yeah.
Pick them up at 2 different schools.
Are you going to
So now
reflect?
it's a one-stop drop.
Are you going to reflect that in your TV show, or like how accurate is the daughters
TV
and
show's
you
very
on the
different.
show, or like are they going to grow up on the show, or are you going to have to replace them? Are you going to age them rapidly like a soap opera?
Well, the girls on my show are totally different than the girls, my kids.
Yeah,
they are only represented in age. But my kids are nothing like those girls. They're really fictional. I mean, most of my family.
I never thought that they were an accurate depiction of your kids, even though I don't know your kids. But is the way you're reacting to them, that seems to be like you.
No, that is definitely different too. Because my
different
daughters
too?
and I have.
Do you beat your children? Is that what you're not showing on the show?
My daughters and I have a very real and close relationship, a very warm relationship, and we're just great friends. They're my favorite people, my daughters, and we get along great. And I used to get frustrated when I was younger. At having kids, just getting through a day with kids used to be a chore.
From your act, we would never have known
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Well, and I definitely distilled and purified that frustration for the sake of entertainment. I've had all through being a dad incredible moments and times in my life that are completely unfunny. So those are kept out of there.
Yeah,
no one wants to see that. No one ever will.
No way to make it funny.
No
nothing.
way.
Just
no. Like I did a bit during this last tour I did about sleeping and my daughters waking me up in the morning, like at 6 o'clock every morning. And I don't need to get up to like 7:30 to get them to school, but they get me up at 6. Because they're awake and they want to share the day with me, you know.
Yeah.
So I did this bit about how good sleep feels at 6 a.m. Like how much I don't want to wake up because I feel like I'm, fathoms deep in a river of chocolate, and sleep is like an ancient whore who's sucking me off slowly and speaking in a dead language. This whole thing I do about how much I don't want to wake up. Then I wake up and I'm miserable. When I conceived that bit, the second part to it was the truth, which is as much as I hate getting upright at 6 a.m., once I'm feeding my kids breakfast and we're chatting, I'm so happy to get up.
Yeah.
Because when I'm on the road or when my kids aren't with me, I always sleep till like noon or 1 o'clock, and I wake up, I feel like a piece of shit, and most of the day is gone. But I get up at 6 o'clock, and even though the transition is difficult, standing there and feeding them, I feed them a full breakfast every morning. I make them bacon and eggs and stuff, and I stand there watching them eat it, and we chat, and it's such a real life to me. That's real. When I started it on stage, I'd tell the part about sleeping and about not wanting to wake up, and then I'd get to that part, and the laughter would just completely stop.
Oh, shit,
I had no way to make that funny. So I stopped doing
you're
it.
a good dad. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I just dropped that part off.
Where does the Louie from the TV show?
Well, that guy. I mean, I like on the show to be just to make mistakes I never would, and to be more reactive and have less control over myself. It's just funnier.
You're in a weird situation with this, and I think it's a good person to compare it to. Seinfeld, I think, went through the same thing. A lot of people assume that's Seinfeld because he's Jerry Seinfeld on the show, that's Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And that is not Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, no, he's not
on the show.
No.
So when you watch your show, you're Louie, you're the stand-up, you're doing what you do.
Yeah.
So a lot of people assume that's an accurate depiction of you
head to toe. That's you.
Yeah, no, I definitely am different than that guy.
And where does that come from? Like, just you make up a guy and kind of.
I mean, it's me, but I don't do the things I would do usually. Some of it is playing out fantasies, like saying things out loud to people that are bothering me that I never would say.
My dumb questions are just I'm amazed at people's creativity. I can't fathom being able to
the kids,
make shit up like that.
You're like a little boy, though. But are the cameras really there, or do you bring them?
Wow! But
I am an ass.
The kids on the show are actually two different girls played my youngest daughter last season.
Dick Sargent and Dick York.
That's right.
I almost fucked that up.
And it
I?
wasn't far from that. They were very close. We had a girl playing when I started doing the show. FX wanted to make my talent deals for me because they have these packages they give actors, Really? And I said I don't want to do that because I don't want you to know who I'm hiring. And
keep everything on the QT.
I want to do it
guys.
myself.
Yeah.
Our little company hires our actors directly, and also I don't want to give people series deals because I don't want to be forced to put them on the show.
Yeah,
I don't like having to say, what are we going to have to make up for this guy this time? So the girls, I hired two actresses to play my daughters, and the guy who runs FX said to me, yeah, but what if one of them gets another job? And I said, well, fuck her then. I'll get another one. I don't care.
No one cares.
No one gives a shit. It doesn't matter who's playing them. It really doesn't. And
you're fucking brilliant.
No, so one of the girl who played my youngest daughter, she got a pilot on ABC. It wasn't even a show that went to, I knew it wouldn't go to series because no pilots really ever do. But I said, let her go. We'll get another one. And then maybe if she comes back next year, So she left, and then we got another one and started using her. And then the thing came up, well, this is what FX warned me of. Do I tell them that I replaced my daughter? And I decided, no, because they don't see the show until it's complete. They don't read scripts. They don't see footage.
Oh, shit, okay.
So I figured they'll see an episode with the new kid, and then I'll get a phone call and I'll deal with it then.
They'll assume they've lost the part.
Yeah, so I put it on. I sent it to them. The first episode with the new girl, they didn't say anything.
They didn't notice?
They never noticed. And then one of the last episodes, actually, both girls, because I matched two stories that weren't originally supposed to be. One girl plays my daughter in the first half of the episode,
really
and another girl plays her in the second half. And
no one noticed.
No one said anything. And I finally talked to the FX guy, and I said, "Did you know?
Did you
that I've got
notice?
two girls?" And he was like, "No." And none of these fucking commenty, complainy cunts on the internet have ever picked up on it. Nobody, because who gives a shit?
It doesn't matter.
Do you know how hard it is to get creative control like that? Like that's like a fucking Kubrick or Spielberg type of thing. Nobody has 100%. Yeah. That's amazing, dude.
Well, and it's from being on the other side of the spectrum from those guys that we drove the show down to be so cheap that it's not like
they were just
Spielberg
happy.
owns the world so he can do what he
wants.
wants, but me, no one cares what I'm doing because my show can be paid for by advertisers that literally don't know what the show's about.
That's perfect.
If the show was a little more expensive or on a little bit earlier, then, I don't know who, Nescafe or,
Nescafe.
General Mills would say,
Procter and
Louie
Gamble.
Person? Yes, but right now, fucking some lawyer from New Jersey is paying for my show.
Changed out the fucking daughters and no one knew.
No, and also, I don't have that control contractually. I don't have a deal that says I can do what I want. The deal that I have that I signed says that FX has full control over the show and that they have to approve every decision that I make.
But whether they do that or not is another
in
thing.
practice, they've never done it, but I earned that with every show. If I turn in 2 shitty episodes, I'll start having an executive on the set, and I'll have to turn in
fingers in there.
But how great is that they fucking allow that? That's like you're giving them a great product, and they're not fucking with it. That's so nice.
Well,
the
way I got it was that I was willing not to do the show any other way. I was willing to say no. You have to really be willing to say no to stuff. If you really want the gig and you feel like you can't live without it, then you'll give away everything.
And it's so rough
they
when
would be
you're
like,
close.
well, we want to read scripts. And I go, no, I'm not interested in doing it that way. We established it with the pilot. I said, this is the only way I'll do it. You give me the money, I'll make a show. Well, we'd like to find out who's in it. Not interested in telling you that. Really? Yeah, no, and if you want to know who's in the show, then I'd rather not do it. Like, I said that a few times through the process.
And meant it.
Yes, I did, and I meant it. Well, we'd like to visit your set. I don't want you here. But I totally understand why you would want to come here because you're paying for the show. But I'd rather we just call it off. And I just kept saying that, and they were so cool. And the guy who runs FX, John Landgraf, is a genius. And he said he kept everybody off of me, and it worked. I gave them a show they liked. If I'd given them a show that needed work, they would have been like, yes, we'll give you a green light, but you need more supervision. But they're like, keep doing it that way. But he's the one who got me to do it without signing that. He said, look,
So
I
you
can't.
could have come up
there's
with,
no deal that exists that covers this. So.
Hitler, a love story you could have come up with.
You could have done anything.
I could have done anything, but since I turned in something that was basically funny and competent and didn't look crazy, okay, let's keep doing it as long as it works. But episode by episode, I have to earn that.
Mm-hmm.
So each episode they've liked, and they just keep saying, all right, it's good. They don't ever give me notes or anything. They just let me do it.
They stay hands off.
It's the best job I ever had. Well, and that gives me freedom not only to do what I want and be edgy, it also, I don't have a good work ethic. Like, I can't complete things, and I don't have a consistent focus.
Wow.
So I can do things like write half a sketch on the show or half a story, and then I can't get around to finishing it. But I go ahead and produce it anyway. I send it to, get them to cast the parts, and I start shooting it without an ending.
It totally comes across. You totally come across to me as a guy that is the finish it guy.
Well, it takes me a long time to finish
eventually,
stuff.
But I mean, like, to me, I really thought you were the kind of guy that, like, because from a lot of the short things I've seen you do online and things like that, it's like I have an idea and I'm actually going to do it. And you do it.
Some of them are like that. Some things that I've done, I know that I have an idea, and 5 minutes later, I actually know how it's going to be shot and finished and everything.
So you actually won't finish it. Sometimes you'll have you'll know where you want to start and kind of where you might want to end up, and then just know it's going to work out.
Yeah, and I'll just shoot a scene that I know is funny, and then I'll figure I'll find a place for it. It doesn't have a context yet.
Well, you got the confidence that you're going to get there.
Well, like in the episode on the show that's about religion, it starts with this thing of me going into a public restroom and there's a glory hole. And I didn't have a plan for that scene. I just liked the idea of this glory hole thing. And I started shooting it. We shot it and it was totally different. And then we shot it and I didn't like it, actually. And in the actual original version, the dude sticks his penis in this glory hole and he has this religious orgasm that I watch happen. And that was the original thing. And I watched it, and it was gross. It was creepy and weird and unfunny. And so I shelved it. I said, fuck this thing. I forgot. I mean, I have the ability to shoot something and then no one ever sees it. So I figured I'm going to bury this. It'll never be on television. But then we started shooting the religion episode and it hit me. This would be I could take just the beginning of that bit and have it just be a discussion starter.
Yeah.
For
a little intro kind of.
Yeah. So some stuff I shoot without knowing how I'm going to use it.
That's cool.
And there's been stuff that you shot that you probably haven't used, right? That
There's whole bits that Nick DiPaolo, who's on the show a lot as himself, I originally put him in a suit and tie and had him play almost like a Catskills, like he did kind of a character, and he wore a suit and tie I just like they had this weird idea that there's an old timey Dean Martin kind of comedian in the midst of these.
What the fuck?
And I have one whole thing that I shot with him in that character that never will be on the show, but it's on the DVD. It's on the DVD.
You put it on a nightmare scene for Nick.
Yeah,
exactly. Nick has a nightmare that's who he is.
I was gonna say DVD would.
No, and also because
like
I don't make serious deals with people, and because nobody cares who's on the show, I can like Bob Kelly. I hope he's. I mean, I should probably call him after to tell him this.
No.
But Robert Kelly, who played my brother on the show, I didn't have any plans to have a brother on the show. Just I wrote one scene for him, and he really nailed it. And he had that really pathetic quality to that Bob has. That you just want to punch him and hug him.
Oh, the diner scene's fucking fantastic.
And so he was so good in that, and that I gave him a few more episodes. This season, I might not have him on.
You're basically saying you don't have a brother anymore.
I don't have a brother, because I don't have a brother in real life.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Hey, Fat Chuck, how does that feel?
Can we call Bobby right now and tell him?
No.
You're Chuck.
No, I don't want to hurt him. He might.
He's tremendous. Bobby's great.
Everything I'm writing
for you.
I'm writing season 2. I'm writing season 2 right now, and I haven't written a bit for him, and I introduced a sister into the show, because I have actually 3 sisters. So I have
Bobby with a wig,
a sister character. So he may not be on. But then the other day I came up with a bit. I thought that actually might be good for him. But he also might come back as a different character. I don't know.
See that? If
I'm serious.
Great.
You should have him come back as two people at once because he's put weight on just to humiliate him.
Exactly.
When he's in the car, though, it is such perfect Bobby when he's just like, hey, dude.
Hey,
dude.
No, Jim is in one scene last year, and probably I'll use him as a totally different guy. He's in as himself with a fucking necklace over his T-shirt like an asshole.
Did I have a necklace on?
Necklace over the
That
T-shirt.
was probably, I think, was that the
table?
That was my Lucky Louie thing that Pam gave me.
Oh, that's right.
That's the only reason I never wear jewelry. I hate jewelry.
That poker scene was some great writing.
But I do
Holy
characters
shit.
too, so if you need a character like a French guy or whatever.
Do you have one of those
You want to try one out?
Louie, I will be happy to be on. Fucking good, man.
You know what would be great?
French.
Would be to actually have him on as a French guy and say that he's a French guy and have him do that. To have it be like a French, like a bakery I go into, and he goes, "Oh, it's so nice to see you,
Louie."
Do the guy like, "Hey, good morning.
I am so happy you came to my bakery.
Can I get? How are the croissants this morning?
They are delicious and hot, just the way you like them."
All of a sudden, you're German.
But but there was a whole World War II thing with my family. I'm writing backstory.
He's Alsatian. He's Alsatian French.
Vichy.
I could almost totally see doing that.
Why not?
Just have him play this broad and don't just have it be this
No
character.
explanation, nothing.
And maybe we have one of those, like, it's a character, we have one of those, it's been a tough day with the kids. You know, fatherhood is tough, right, Francois?
Oh, yes, it is tough to raise them properly. You have to let them go. Fucking good, man. I mean,
He's got wisdom. He's got a little wisdom.
Yeah, a lot of wisdom.
You close your eyes, you can see the beret.
Yeah.
If I turned that show on and saw that, I'd shit my pants.
Right.
I would shit my pants.
I'll just do really hacky French jokes. Well, if you're children, you should surrender.
And just an aside, you can see him just walking down the street and just say hello to him, and he's got the paper bag with a baguette sticking out of it,
Yes.
and some celery and a beret on.
But I'll have to make sure the audience knows. Like, you'll say something, I'm glad you came in because I am French.
Right. See, I love the idea of doing this because, like, Ricky Gervais's character didn't fit the rest of the season at all because I didn't do any other cartoonly stupid characters like that. I did one. And there's people that complained about it, like, this doesn't fit. And I'm like,
Really?
what? Fuck you. I mean, one thing I love to do on my show is that even the people that are the biggest fans of the show have things that make them upset about it. That makes me happy.
I never
like
even
in the
thought twice
pilot
that
when the
didn't
girl
fit.
gets in the helicopter and flies away.
yeah.
A lot of people are like, that's where it really, it did really. So fuck you. I wanted to do it.
That's
my
what I
show.
want,
Right.
If you don't like it, stop watching. If there's enough of you guys, I'll get fired.
That's what we say
I don't
all
give
the
a shit.
time.
So
By
it
the
would
way-
be great if next season is really down to earth and real and really, just believable and credible, but there's this one sore thumb piece of shit. Not even played by a guy who knows how to do it. Like, it would be bad enough to get a stereotypical French guy who actually is, trained, but this guy doesn't even have any handle on the accent.
And you got
It's
to
not
go.
what he's known for. To use Jimmy that way.
But you got to go all in and have him in every episode just to really hammer the awfulness home.
Oh, that would be horrid every
fucking episode.
That would be great. It's like, what's his name? Will Ferrell told me that he used to have in his head these couple watching SNL. He would imagine, and he would do moments that he used to call holy moly moments, where the husband of the couple, that he would do things on SNL that he pictured the guy going, holy moly. Like, Jesus.
What the hell is he doing?
That's what this is going to be.
That's a holy moly.
I think we're probably doing it too, so, Jim.
Jim, get ready.
I've been working on my French accent for fucking since
Perfect.
about
It's really
8:48.
You got to do it now.
Obnoxious thing
By the
to
way,
do.
was that the pilot also that Chelsea was in?
Chelsea's the one who got in a helicopter and flew away.
When you open the door and pin her behind the door, that is one of the best awkward scenes
horrible.
ever.
Horrible. The thing that was amazing about that to me was that I wrote that, and then they went and... I wrote it in the script. It wasn't something that we just sort of found.
Right.
I said that the door is too close to the stairs, and when he opens the door, there's nowhere for her to go but behind it. And so he holds it open and pinning her. I wrote that, and they had to go find the
because now
the scouts had to
logistically
find
you got to
that.
find a door that
They
that
had to
works
scour
like
the
that.
East Village and find a building that was willing to let us shoot there. that would have that
situation.
Yeah, without it looking like we forced it.
I do hate the awkward double door, try to hold the door for the girl thing. Because now she's in, and some girls know how to actually kind of stop there and wait.
Right.
And you could open it, but then most of them lunge for it and open, and now she's opening the door for you. And then you got to make the whole tit for tat joke. Like,
then you did it for me, which is
now
funny.
Now we're even.
Now we're laughing at unfunny moments.
Exactly.
You held it for me.
Door.
I can't wait for this to be over.
Yeah. Can't wait to fuck your ass and throw you out my window. Fucking moderately amusing cunt.
Moderately amusing cunt. That's some comedian should have that as a special. So Whitney Cummings' next special. Sorry, just picked one out of the hat.
I know, you just picked a woman. Fair enough.
Why not? Pick the woman out of the hat. That's what I always do.
Hey, Louie, the open to the show, a guy flips off the fucking camera.
Yeah.
And there's some discussion about that, if you set that up or if that was real.
Oh, no, that was... If I had set it up, that would have been a shitty...
way to do it.
Yeah, but no, when we shot that, the last night of the pilot shooting, we shot the stand-up at the Comedy Cellar, and we were figuring out as we were going along how to do that, and I got a Steadicam operator to stand on stage with me at the Cellar. That's how we shot that, and so you get that first-person feeling.
Right.
It's the same way I shot the stand-up on Hilarious on the special that's out at 10 o'clock Sunday on Comedy Central, and then later on DVD.
And you do
and Netflix.
You do acknowledge the camera at one point.
Yeah, during the Hilarious special. Yeah, because he got too close.
Yeah.
And I could hear the guy's cans. I could hear the tech director talking to the camera person.
Okay, count of three. We're going to Pakistan. And you're trying to fucking do...
I actually hear her telling him what he's doing. Go a little closer. You can get closer, Jim. You can get closer. And I'm talking to a fucking audience of 2,000 people during a set that I've been preparing for a year.
Yeah, I'm glad you left that in.
And I had to turn to him and say, you got to back off because I can hear you.
Yeah.
But we left it in because
moment.
it is a strange... I think if you watch the show high, that's probably a really fucked up moment.
Because
you're just
feel
absorbed
weird.
in it.
Yeah, you feel like...
And all of a sudden you go...
You know, it would have been a funny thing to say, hey, Captain Obvious, you want to back up? I mean, I can think of this stuff later.
But back to the guy who flipped off the camera.
Okay, so... Sorry. Dying, sorry. Okay, the guy... So we shot at the Comedy Cellar with a Steadicam, and then when we were done, I was standing out in the Village. It was the summer, and the Village in the summer is just so active. And I thought maybe I should shoot a moment outside. And then it hit me. I don't have an opening sequence to the show. I don't have a way to open. And just to hand something into FX, just to give them something. I assume we'll shoot some kind of a really slick opening someday for this show, but just to have something to give them when we turn in the pilot, because they only gave us $200,000 to do the pilot, which is very low money for a pilot.
Yeah.
So we had a Steadicam guy there, which is a very expensive rig and person. And I said, why don't we just put the guy's Steadicam on with a 25 lens, doesn't matter, and I'll walk from the 3rd Street subway to the Comedy Cellar, which is my walk. That's how I get to work every night, and just walk in front of me with the camera, and we'll just shoot that. And so we're walking. We did exactly that. I came out of the subway. We only did it once, and he followed me, and then I just followed my instincts. I got to Ben's Pizza on McDougal Street and went in for a slice. That's what I always do, get a couple of chomps.
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is I put my kids to sleep, and then I get a babysitter to come, and then I run to the cellar, and I haven't eaten. I fed them dinner and put them to bed. So I just need a little bit of calories in me to do a set. So I started eating the pizza, and the camera stayed there and just watched me eat pizza. And these young Asian kids with spiky hair, kind of like cool alt punky kids walk by, and they see a camera, so they think, fuck you, like this kind of just, you know what I mean? Young people, contrary to anything. Fuck you, man. And the kid really did it like that. Like, you can't hear it because there's no sound, but he was stupid that he didn't, he could have just stood in front of the camera.
And
but
really
as he walked by, fuck you! Like, he did it like that. And I just watched him, and I kept a straight face. You can see me glance at him after he gives me the finger. And I thought, because I know the scope of the lens that we had on him, like, I know we just caught that. And I know it's out of focus. And I'm so happy that just happened. That's just so, and it was a moment that I thought this show's going to be on TV. Like that moment, literally when he flipped off the camera, I thought, because I was like, that's so cool that that's going to be in the opening credits. And I knew this is going to be the opening credits of the show. I'm not replacing this. And I think we're going to get on the air. Like, it just made me believe. That's awesome. Yeah. Because of the fun, to me, the coolness of getting this this legitimate, sincere middle finger in this New York City show.
That New York City moment.
One of the funniest things that happened on Lucky Louie to me was we were doing a scene and there was a woman who was a bartender and she had a shirt on, and on the shirt was like the little clear tag that had like LLL, like for large.
Oh, yeah. And you know, from the Gap.
Yeah. You forget to take those off the back of your leg.
And we're rehearsing, and Louie goes to me, all I want is for that to be shot and on television.
Yeah.
I want that so bad.
Yeah. And it was, I think. I don't think we had to take it off.
I don't know if they took it off or if they caught it, but you're like, I just don't want them to catch that. I want her to have that on television.
Oh, no. I love when imperfect things happen. And awful things.
That's great.
And I go, we're using that. It's easier to do on this show than Lucky Louie. There was some level of people trying to perfect stuff all the time, and that used to make me irritated.
Look how easy it is to just pull shit up. I was very happy when it came on Netflix, by the way.
I love the open of this fucking show.
Yeah, this is just, I was really tired. We'd been shooting all day. And
yeah, you look very natural. Like, that's how you look walking.
And actually, it backs up if you know the geography of
you walked
the village.
past it already, Lou. What the fuck?
There he is.
And then you give a little glance over to him. You did.
I just missed it. I looked
a little glance over, like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah,
there he is.
Right on.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
A camera, fuck you, man!
Yeah, like
so
that means anything.
Dude.
Yeah.
The camera represents the eye of the man.
No, and this font is just what was. I use it for other shit.
Yeah.
And we kept it. I didn't. Yes, that's passed by about a block.
How much you have to pay for the song?
I'll tell you about that in a second, because I couldn't afford the song.
Jeez.
Here comes the dude. And I look at him.
That's great.
There's me looking at him going, awesome.
You just look
Thank
over.
you. Thank you for that.
Over and I'm thinking,
then look back.
No, and that moment of me looking is me thinking, I'm got my own TV show again. I honestly felt that way. No, the song, and the song I picked off of iTunes or whatever and threw it on for the sake of the, for just to have something to hand in as a complete thing. And then John Landgraf, the guy who runs FX, when he saw it, he said, I think Louie fits into it. And also, I didn't know I was going to call it that. I just did that as a thing. And he said, I think Louie fits in. I like the opening. I like the song. He took it as the way the show's supposed to be. And then I needed to go get, then I needed to go get this song, Brother Louie, which was originally recorded by a band called Hot Chocolate. Mm-hmm. And then it was re-recorded by the Stories. And so we went after it, and our legal tiny department, and they said they would give us, there's the publishing and then there's the recording. The publishing is the actual, like, the song lyrics and the arrangement, and that costs us, we pay $5,000 an episode for that, which for us is a $300,000 show. That's a lot. That's a chunk of our budget.
Wait, is that publisher and the artist have to get the same thing? I think that was a way to prevent.
Well, some people own both separately.
Yeah.
The master recording is a different group of people, because actually we pay Hot Chocolate for the publishing, or whoever owns their publishing, because they wrote it. But the Stories version is the one that we wanted.
Okay.
Because of that guy, Louie, Ian Lloyd, that singer. The Hot Chocolate version is like 8 guys going, Louie.
Yeah.
It's not as fun. So we recorded our own version of it. Reggie Watts was a comic. He did the music for the first half of the season. And then we didn't have enough to finish it with him. We did it with other people. But he arranged and recorded the music for it that we did, which is almost identical to the Stories version. I think it's a little better. It's just a little nicer. And then we did a version where he sang it, where Reggie sang it, and it didn't work. And we tried to think of another way to create that sound, and we couldn't. I was in the studio with Reggie at like midnight because all the music on this series I do it with a group of musicians. It's all original music.
Wow, Jesus.
And when we were doing the theme song, I was like, I can't. How are we going to do this? And then I thought, well, whatever happened to the stories? Like, whatever happened to the lead singer? So I went on the internet, and I Googled Ian Lloyd. First of all, I Googled his stories. I don't know who the fuck he was at the time. And I found a YouTube video of him doing it on American Bandstand. And, Louie! And so I Googled his name, and Ian Lloyd is just a guy living in New York City. And he has a band. It's his son's band, but he's like sings. Jesus Christ. And so he's got a little website that he obviously hadn't updated since like 1989 or something. And there's an email on it. So it's like midnight, and I write a Hail Mary email. Hi, I'm a TV producer, and I want to hire you to do a job. Write me if you're interested. And the next morning, I wake up to an email. This is my current email.
Please
help
me.
This is my phone number. And he gave me his phone number. So I call him up, and he's the fucking greatest guy in the world. And he's just happy to still be singing.
Yeah.
And I kind of asked, sort of carefully, do you still have the pipes to do what you did on the song? He said, sure, I do. And I told him, look, here's the thing. Oh, because the song, when we went to try to get it, it was like fucking $20,000 an episode they wanted for the recording.
For the recording of it,
They wouldn't back down, and we can't afford it. So I went to Ian and I said, can we just hire you as a singer for a day? That's all I can really afford to do. I have no money for this show. And he said, well, I need you to pay me enough that I don't want to kill myself. He said basically, I'm happy to do this for you. I just need to have some self-respect, So I offered him some money, and he said, that's fine. And he showed up. It was one of my favorite experiences ever on the show because he was such a good guy. And he remembered how we recorded it. He remembered there's a couple of tracks, and he harmonized with himself, and he helped us with it. And the only thing, I had him do it exactly the way he did it in the original, and his voice is a little older, but I like it that ours is a little different. And also I asked him to say, instead of Louie, you're going to cry, the second time he says, Louie, you're going to die. I just asked him to make that one change, which he did.
Wow.
And he nailed it. So we have a version that zero people believe is anything but the original stories version.
Without having to pay
that money, which would be going to Ian Lloyd. Unfortunately, he probably fucked himself.
He fucked himself over.
No, and I felt bad because when I did Carnegie Hall, I had this idea to have him sing live to introduce me. And I thought that would be so cool, and he'd go crazy singing Carnegie Hall. I'm sure he didn't see that coming in his future.
Yeah.
But the people at Carnegie Hall, if you do music, they charge you like you're the fucking symphony orchestra, they get like you're the Philharmonic. So I couldn't afford it, but they printed the programs that says with special guest Ian Lloyd on my Carnegie
collector's
Hall
item.
But no, he's a great guy, and
Goddamn,
but there's been people on the internet that are
money.
like, this can't be the stories version because that says you're going to die, and I have the stories version. I've listened to both back to back.
They don't notice the daughter change, but they notice that fucking shit.
Yeah, that's
Could you have him sing live if you had a recording, or is it just if music's being played? If you had the music taped?
Well, at that point, I wanted to have like a little combo band, and then they said that would cost a lot, and then they said, well, you could do it with playback, and then I said, well, I just don't want to do it. So you just called me out on a lie. I really just kind of backed out on hiring him. But I never told him I was going to hire him.
For comparison, we got the original.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right at the hook, the stories version.
Yeah.
Little slower.
He's a little grittier now, a little more in his voice.
All right, and then
what made you think of this song for the show?
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
Danny, you got the other one?
Buddy.
What?
Oh, you want me?
No, yeah, you got
the original from the Open.
From the Open.
Louie, your version's way better.
I think
you
like
really
it better.
updated it.
Let's see. Here we go.
My bad.
This opening is from the Hot Chocolate version. They open this way. The stories version is more 70s stringy in the beginning. Yeah, there's more strings here.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like...
Sounds good.
What's the guy who did Fred is Dead? Fred is dead.
That's what I said.
Yes, like that. Who is that guy?
Was this a popular song?
Yeah, it was a hit.
Oh, it was a big hit. Okay.
Curtis Mayfield, I think.
Curtis Mayfield. The music is a little Curtis Mayfield.
Wow.
That strings.
Wow.
Louie.
I always thought that. I thought that was the original lyric.
No.
Until right this moment.
Doesn't exist in the original.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
Your version's way better.
I love him, this crooning singer saying, "You're gonna die. You're gonna cry."
What a great anecdote.
Yeah, usually those back scenes things are boring. That was a pretty good
that
one.
was very.
You fucked that guy over.
You totally
really fucked him over with his help.
You so fucked with his help.
Yeah.
He has horrible
He would have started getting checks from ASCAP.
Right.
They'd be coming every time the show is on Netflix.
Everything
Fucking DVD, boom, boom. Instead, he got a day rate.
You had such a great experience with the guy, but you fucked him over.
I owe Ian Lloyd. He's a good man. I always get emails from him when he's in town and stuff.
Put him in an episode.
He's a good man. No, I'm going to. He also wants to act too, so I'll put him in something.
How old is he?
I have no idea. I don't
Is he
know.
black or white?
50s, white guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Scrawny white guy.
Yeah.
With a voice. Nobody has that voice. I mean, that's a testament to what he did. That fucking 30 years later, I couldn't find anybody that could replicate that sound. There's no white guy.
That is amazing. Yeah.
No, what is that?
Yeah.
What kind of? There's no. It's not soprano or something. It's just
heroin.
Yeah,
oh, that's him right there.
Yeah.
Hey, he looks all right. Hey, listen,
he's awesome.
Why don't we take a break?
Fishing captain.
Louie, you're going to make it to the end with us, or do you got to go
Yeah,
somewhere?
I'll hang around.
Okay, good. Louis C.K. He's here to promote Hilarious, which is going to be on Comedy Central Sunday night at 10 p.m. And then it'll be available on CD and DVD Tuesday. Hilarious
Yes, it will.
is great. More
Thank
with
you.
Louis C.K. Stay there. Talking to Louis C.K. I don't know if what we were just talking about is worth talking about on the air, but I was telling Louis, when I walk around in my dumb life, so many people come up to me and tell me one of their favorite episodes of Louis' show was the one where he follows the kid home that kind of threatened him in the donut shop. And then the episode ends with Louis just kind of hanging out on the stoop with the kid's father. He follows him all the way to Staten Island. And it's not a lot of laughs in there, but people love that episode. But it also, you were saying, frustrates or pisses off people because they weren't laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get that.
Well,
because that could have been my favorite episode.
I think it was one of my favorite ones. I mean, I don't look at stuff on TV as segregated comedy or drama.
Right.
Like most things actually that are sold as comedies don't make me laugh. Like
Right.
I haven't watched a comedy movie that's
hell
really
yeah.
made me laugh. To me,
Please, you didn't go see the Flockers movie? Come on.
Yeah, that's a movie made for you, Lou.
it's funny
That's made
because
for you.
Robert De Niro, his comedies are so bad, but his dramas are hilarious. To me, two of the funniest movies in history are Goodfellas and Raging Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Two hilarious movies, not sold as comedies. They're
Sure.
not supposed to be funny.
What was the last comedy you laughed at? Do you remember?
Fuck, I don't know. Maybe Dumb and Dumber.
Wow.
Like, that made me laugh just because of how dumb and dumber it was. Yeah, exactly. But other than that, I haven't really laughed at a lot of... sometimes I watch Family Guy on Netflix to fall asleep. Like, it's something that actually helps me fall asleep. And it makes me laugh really hard. But
Right.
there's something... because it's a cartoon, I think it's just because it's a cartoons put me to sleep. Because it's one-dimensional and it has...
Sure.
A sing-songy way of it. Family Guy has these voices that talk like, dang it, so it kind of puts me to sleep.
It's kind of funny
actually,
that you say that.
and
though.
I kind of hated it the first time I saw it because it's so jokey. But but I gave it a chance because you should
love the
when
characters.
you adjust to something you're not used to. That's what a lot of people just won't do that. They're like, this isn't what I am sure is already good. So I hate it.
This is not what I'm used to.
But if you make an adjustment, and actually if something's not what you're used to, then you might find a new thing to laugh at, which there's nothing better in life. And if Family Guy does that for me, it surprises me with a constant stream of jokes. And then I go to sleep.
You made a great point during the break when we were just chit-chatting. You said you like being surprised by things.
That's the best thing you can do.
Fuck yeah.
Is to find entertainment or humor or intrigue in a location of people's minds that they haven't found it before.
And it goes back to that poker scene you did, which Jim Norton's in and all the guys, where you guys are just busting each other's balls.
It starts as just, and also because it was early in the season, I liked that people would be, I'm aware of where the context of an episode now, from having done Lucky Louie taught me a lot as far as like just coming on TV all of a sudden.
Sure.
And what that means. So I knew people would be like, they'd start watching the poker scene thinking, okay, so we're going to once in a while see Louie and his buddies playing poker. This is an introduction to, and they banter and they make gay jokes because that's just what fellas are like. And then that episode just stumbles into this fucked up territory, and then all of a sudden you're not laughing, and you're watching this guy talk about this thing, and then I make a joke in the middle of it, which is really inappropriate, and so it's wait a minute, am I supposed to be laughing at this or not?
Right.
And then it goes away. The episode isn't even about that, and we never saw that group of guys again.
I fucking hate you. I'll tell you why. Because you just explained what I thought. Like, okay, the poker.
Yeah, but hate's not the way to deal with it.
No, I hate Lloyd. But I thought you were going to keep going back. That would be a central thing of your show. Right. Absolutely. I bought into that. Like, okay, they're going to be doing poker every once in a while.
Right.
To just kind of have a little fun and beat each
never
other
again.
up. And it never happened again. You surprised me with that.
We might in season 2 have another poker game. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
But you didn't have to go there again.
No, I didn't have to. And again,
other shows would have. Other shows would have.
Every show would have.
Well, there was some lines that were
every show would have done it. Definitely.
You should have done something like we were playing cards and someone should have said liquor in the front, poker in the back, and just give you a little finger like that.
A little finger on the side.
Yeah, a little joke.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come back and do that. No, and we didn't come back to it, and other shows would have been pressured by a network to. We love the poker, guys.
Please do more poker, right?
Let's hear.
Yeah, that's
what Eddie Brill has to say this week. Maybe he gets sad.
Yeah.
Oh, they would.
And not only would they do poker, but every episode, every poker scene would start with guys razzing each other and then getting serious. It would have happened over and over again.
Same exact way.
Right. God, they just know how to unfunny shit up.
There was originally a second scene to the poker thing, and we shot it and I didn't use it, which is that at the end, it was going to be kind of bookends, and at the end of the episode, I'm on stage. Because I used to do the bits about the word faggot, cunt, and nigger. Like, that was my chunk of inappropriate words bits that I did then.
Inappropriate?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
A little bit. And so I do the poker thing to address the word faggot, and then you see me on stage doing my bit about nigger and the people saying N-word instead of nigger and that stuff. And then Hannibal Buress, who's in the poker scene, the black comedian, comes up to me and goes, "Hey, man, I see you banished faggot from your act, but you got nigger going strong. What's up with that?" And I'm like, well, I don't mean it that way. He's like, yeah, no, I get it, but, I hear Rick say all this stuff. Do I have to now explain to you what nigger means? Does that, And I'm like, geez, come on, man. And he's like, I'm just saying, if you're going to say nigger, say faggot. I mean, it's not fair. So we actually,
That's good.
We actually shot it and then didn't use it. Because the sound was shitty and just didn't
really?
Yeah, otherwise I probably would have kept it.
How great is it that the network lets you say nigger and faggot, though, is in the right context. It's just great that they don't fucking bother you.
Well,
nice.
The standards person at FX is really smart, and she calls me whenever we, that poker scene was much dirtier at one point.
Really?
And John Landgraf, the FX president, called me and said that he loved the scene and that he wanted to put it early in the run so that it would get reviewed and it would be part of what people would notice about the show. He said, but it's too dirty. He said, if you want to keep it as dirty as it is, we have to bury it like 12 episodes deep.
Wow.
Because it was so just cum, every other word, cum, suck cock up the ass, eat dicks, cum. And he said, if you can tone it down in just the amount of times you use those words, then and he said, but it's totally your choice. He said, I think it's worth it because then that episode will get, that's a weighty scene and it's worth doing. So I went through it to see if I could cut it down without hurting it. And I cut out like this part where I go, where I say, how come you have to wear shoes at the club? And Rick says, because the floor gets full of cum. And Nick DiPaolo goes, all right, we get it. And so I manufactured a cutoff where Rick goes, well, the floor gets full of, all right. And he cuts him off and doesn't let him say it.
Right.
I manufactured that in the editing, and I realized, you know what, this is actually making the scene better.
Sure.
That Nick gets nervous enough about the stuff that stops it from being said.
Yeah.
And I used that way of cutting it down. I didn't have to cut out as much as I thought I would. And I showed it to Landgraf, and he said, we can do that. And I'm so glad we did, because that episode partly is the reason the show got notoriety.
And that scene's gone viral for you.
Yeah, and I got
the show.
There's this website for gay people called AfterElton.com. It's a very big gay website. And they called me up. This guy called me up and said, well, I don't understand how this scene talking about gay people came from a straight guy. He's like, and he wanted to know how a straight person ends up with this point of view. Well, maybe I'm gay. I don't know. I haven't sucked a dick yet. Yeah, but hey, if I'm a closet gay, let me find out soon. I'm almost fucking 50. Get it out in the open so I can start taking advantage.
But
how awesome would that be to all of a sudden open your fucking horizons by
at 50? Just go, fuck it.
To go, oh my God,
why not?
There's twice as many people I can fuck.
Why not? Apparently, that's exactly what was twittered on my fucking Twitter yesterday.
Yeah,
it said for the new year, I'm going to try bi so I could double my choice out there.
Yeah.
Because I had left my my iPad out, and Keith the cop was over the house and decided to tweet.
Really?
As me.
Is that what you're saying? Or,
yeah,
that's
exactly what it
wow.
was. Yeah, it said, in the new year, I resolved to try bi. I mean, why not double my odds? And that's what he fucking does.
Well, that's what a friend does.
And I had to put Jesus fucking Keith got my Twitter again. I'm not trying to be bi. I really need to sign out of Twitter when I'm asleep.
Why did you need to dispel that, though?
Yeah, you should just left it out there.
What do you hurt? How are you hurt by that?
Well, I'm so homophobic that and I'm so insecure about my own masculinity that I feel I have to do that. I don't know why. Now that I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, why the fuck did I feel compelled to do that? I think it's more of I just want to give a fuck you to Keith.
Sure. More
so than having to explain. I don't think I had to explain that I'm, again, nearing the big 5-0 mark and just deciding I want to be bi. I don't think I really had to explain that. More so, it's, look at what asshole Keith did again.
I remember I did a show years ago with a guy named Tony V. Do you know Tony V? He's a comic from Boston.
I don't know.
Very funny guy. And we did the show. He's a really big guy, dressed as kind of like a biker, but he's also kind of weird. So he was wearing paisley boots, like colorful paisley boots, and then a biker jacket. And we were doing a show in Rhode Island, and some guy yells out, it was at a college, and this kid yells out, faggot. And Tony V, big burly guy, and goes, what? He goes, look at your boots, you faggot. And Tony goes, well, let's examine that for a second. What if I was faggot? What if I was gay? And I decided I wanted to take you out back by my car and force you down over the hood of my car and fuck you in the ass. If I had decided to do that, you know what you could do about it? Nothing. There's nothing you could do. I'm bigger than you. I'm smarter than you. I would just take you. And he goes, so you better pray I'm not a faggot. You better hope you're wrong, man.
It's a great way to handle it.
Yeah, who cares if somebody thinks you're gay? I really couldn't care less. If there was some way something came out that I was gay, I would never. I'm here to declare that these allegations are false. I just go, yeah, all right.
I want to say that. Yeah,
who cares? Yes, honestly, I'm gay.
I'm not backtracking because we make enough dick suck jokes in this place and self-deprecating homo jokes and stuff. But I think it was more of a just, oh, fuck, look, asshole got my fucking Twitter account again and did that.
I never care what people think. You know, you make up a few tranny stories, people start to think that it's real.
Yeah. Those
oopsie.
Wacky people.
Oops.
Sure they do.
We got a lot of people that want to say hi to Louie. Now that you're a big star, Louie.
No.
He's really famous.
Yeah.
I just keep looking at him. He's so famous.
I've just kind of crossed over to a place where I'd have to go through infamy to get out now. Like I'd have to do something bad.
Really bad. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a half-life like uranium. It'll be.
I think we kind of.
No, the truth is, the show. I already see the road back down. This season of the show, everyone says it's just not as good as the second. People love
to do that.
People love taking shows with promise, saying, you know what, wasn't as good.
Sophomore jinx.
John Langreff gets fired. Third season, I'm off the air. I go back on the road. I'm not as inspired as I've been in the past. I put out one shitty special, and
man.
it's over. I'm back at the Tempe Improv for $3,000 a week.
This leads to
I already know the.
It leads to movies, Low.
And I know
It's going the other way.
I can't handle the Tempe Improv at $3,000 a week at this point.
so
So
you'll
I don't
kill
have a good.
yourself.
So I go back the next year and they're like, we don't even want you. And then I'm teaching college.
Terrible.
Maybe if I'm lucky, teaching
You
college.
drive by all the theaters to get to the local comedy club. Remembering the days when you're at the theater.
And fucking, Daniel Tosh doesn't say hi to me when he walks by. Daniel, hey, what's up?
Hey.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm actually a comic. Okay, it's fine. No, Daniel, remember I used to know you.
fine.
Okay, all right. Daniel can't talk to you right now. No, I know him. No, I know Daniel Tosh. I do.
What's worse than that phony, like, hey, man, how you doing? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, man.
Really? Really?
Oh, it's fucking horrible.
Oh, man, yeah.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's Jim. Jim, no, of course, Jim.
Hey, I want to go to the phones because a lot of people want to say hi to Louis C.K.
Right.
The big special is this Sunday at 10 p.m. on Comedy Central. Hilarious. And it will be available on DVD and CD Tuesday, January 11th. Let's say hi to Howard in Miami. Howard.
Louie, love the show.
Thank you, Howard.
Hey, tell us about your Sarah Palin tweet.
Yeah, you kind of talked about it earlier.
Yeah, where you been?
Sarah Palin, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
I was just drunk, and she fascinates me. That's all.
Yeah, where you
That's
been?
it. That's
You
the
don't
story.
think she has a real shot, right?
No, I think she could get nominated
Yeah.
and then lose.
Yeah.
She has no shot at winning the presidency.
I don't think so.
She's not a good enough debater, and honestly, she's not. I don't think she's bright enough to play on that level. And I'm not shitting on her. But I just don't.
I think she
can.
knows that, too, and she's just kind of enjoying the attention everyone gives her.
Well,
I
don't
think she even believes in herself.
She's smart enough that I don't think, she didn't even want to be governor.
Right.
She
No.
didn't want to do it.
She's doing a reality show now. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. But I don't know. Under the right circumstances, something weird could happen. I mean, I'm not saying that she's like I called her the new Hitler on Twitter once, and the person from FX said you can't compare her to a person who killed 6 million Jews, and I said, well, I'm not comparing her to that. I'm comparing her to like early Hitler.
Early Hitler.
Yeah, the way that Hitler wrote, there is a comparison. It doesn't mean she's going to end up killing the same amount of Jews.
Early Hitler. The
But
first
she's
couple of seasons.
starting out a very similar way, which is to be extremely inflammatory. Go to the right of the right wing, which is what she did. Attack the conservatives as not being conservative enough, and create this reactionary, fucked up party, and take a few seats in the legislature, and then take a few seats more. And I mean, this is what Hitler did. Hitler was elected to power. People forget that.
Oh yeah, they love
He took the Reichstag in little pieces, and then they started doing stuff like all of them would stand up and walk out during votes so that nothing could get done. And then he created a fake explosion and fire in the German capital and said it was terrorism. And then based on that, they created emergency measures, and then he got reelected, and then he made himself Führer. Yeah. She could do that.
Führer.
It's easier to do with a parliamentary system like they have in Europe.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
President is harder to take.
I think
that way.
Yeah, I think it's kind of tough. It's easier for somebody to rise to power in the presidency like Castro or Obama did. Look, I have to bash.
Yes,
I have to bash.
Totally, I understand.
The socialist.
All right, let me see.
I understand.
Let's go to Jersey. Eddie.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
First time caller. Love the show.
Thanks, Eddie.
Listen, Louie.
Yeah.
There's a scene you shot in one of the episodes at the airport. I wish you guys had played. It was one of the funniest things I've seen, and I'm 57, so I've been watching TV since you had to get up and change the channel. So
It's a long time, Eddie.
Yeah, I know. But you got the guy at the counter losing his mind, but he's just out of the shot. I think you can just see his wife. And watching your face cringe as the guy is screaming at the counter, it was hysterically funny, and you got to do more of that.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that happens all the time to me in airports and stuff. Somebody that's not in your world just fucking has a horrible moment, and you just get to see it.
Well, the funny thing is, I just got stranded out in Wisconsin last weekend trying to get back. So, I mean, and I'm thinking about that episode, actually, as I'm standing there trying to make reason of why I can't get home. But
how long you been flying, Eddie? Probably a long time, right?
Since the Wright brothers, dude.
They invented the airplane, so that means a long time.
That's a long time.
Jimmy, by the way, I want to thank you. You met my son the last time you were down at the Borgata. You treated him real nice.
Oh.
And he didn't even bother you for a picture, so thanks a lot, Jim.
Oh, you're welcome. Of course, man.
And Jimmy's going to be back at the Borgata, right, Jimmy? I know you're not promoting, but the guy mentioned it.
With Brewer, Attell, and Burr. Yeah, the first two are sold. The third one has a few tickets available the Late Show Friday.
Great.
We're all going down there, too.
That's great.
I want to ask Louie about the Huckleberry Finn thing.
What about Huckleberry Finn?
They're taking the N-word out of the book.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole documentary about that PBS did.
What?
You could probably get it on PBS website or something. They did a whole documentary about Huck Finn. And that Nigger Jim is the name of the character. And that once in a while, this happened. This is a cyclical thing. That's why everybody should see this documentary. That every once in a while, since the book was written, like Mark Twain, there's actually a quote from him where he says, "I knew that when I wrote Huck Finn, he would cause a lot of trouble, and that he will throughout history." Like that every once in a while, some fucking college student reads it and goes, "That says nigger on it. That's really offensive."
Comes around like niggers
and starts a thing. Yes, some fucking nigger. So there's actually in the documentary there's a great moment where Reagan is giving the Mark Twain Award to somebody or something like that, and he goes, and who can forget Huck Finn and his great friend. Jim. And there's a moment where he looks to the side and you can tell there's an aide waving his arms around. Like he said to him 50 times, "Mr. President, when you give this award, say Jim, but it's Nigger Jim." I read it. I haven't read much, but it's Nigger Jim. Mr. President, you can't say nigger anymore. Why not?
Why not?
They don't like it. Oh, fine. Okay, and then he was practicing for the teleprompter, and his friend Nigger Jim, "Mr. President, please don't say nigger. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the end for you." Oh, well, fine. Goodness gracious, it's Nigger Jim. That's the fellow's name.
Then he started making it worse.
See, and he goes, and his friend Jim. In the place of
that's great.
It should say instead, when they reprint it, Jim. Every time it's supposed to say nigger Jim.
Jim. Or they should just put fucking in front of it.
Yeah, fucking black Jim.
Just
with his black Jim. fucking owned by another person face.
In a different font, so it really
there's nothing more ignorant than thinking you're fixing anything.
Thank you.
By taking Nigger Jim out of Huck Finn. But it was a fucking it's a fucking monument to American history. This is what, and the book is about a kid's struggle with if you've read Huck Finn, which I haven't, the point of it no, I read it at some point, but the point of it is that this kid, Huckleberry Finn, has this friend Jim, who's a slave, and he's his friend, and he grew up with him, and he wants Nigger Jim wants him to help him to escape slavery, and the kid has been raised that that's wrong, that Nigger Jim is a slave and he belongs to somebody else, and to help him would be stealing, would be like corroborating with a theft, to take away. That's what people were raised. And he has an internal struggle of, but I know him, he's a human being, and I don't know what to do about it. And to take away nigger out of the Nigger Jim's name just fucking destroy it. It's like pretending he wasn't a slave.
Yeah.
It would be like rewriting the story and just saying Jim was an employee of the Home Depot who wasn't paid much and he was thinking of getting another job. But Home Depot's really, their contracts are really strict. So Huck Finn had to help him go to a job at IKEA.
And that's
No, he was a fucking slave who was whipped, and his name was Nigger Jim. That's how bad his life was.
Yes,
so if you
very
take
bad.
nigger out of Nigger Jim's name, you're softening the reality of what
What
life
was all
was
about.
like then.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're taking away what was great about Mark Twain's humor.
Right.
Is that he reduced the misery of not only black people, but of all poor people in the South. He took that context and made colorful, beautiful, funny stories inside of that of this barefoot kid who's fucking starving. And he's a dynamic, interesting character. And his friend Nigger Jim has a voice. Nobody else was writing for Nigger Jim.
It softens the whole conflict that the kid is feeling too because then it's like, oh, it's just Jim.
Yeah,
Who
it's just
cares?
his friend Jim. No, this guy's life is so bad that he actually has to say, "Hi, my name is Nigger Jim."
Right.
Like he actually has to answer to Nigger Jim.
Yeah.
But now it's Slave Jim, and eventually they'll get rid of slave.
How about this? Would it be
and make
acceptable if they called
servant or something else?
Yeah,
Softer.
Jim the you-know-what? That'd be
And eventually it'll just
How
be
about Black
next
Jim?
door
Like
to me,
people just
Jim.
say it about people at work.
Yeah.
Just Black Jim.
The black guy. You know
Black
Black
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
But who is offended by this? Because I spent a lot of time on Twitter because this
Just
was
niggers.
I wanted to send you out there. Perfect.
I don't know.
But
it's usually white people.
But you know what? I was on Twitter a lot yesterday looking at this because it was a trending topic. No one was offended that was commenting on it. Black people weren't offended. White people weren't offended. Equally, people were like, why are they doing this?
I thought it was financial. My take was because this book company is doing it.
But
and
then they're out of touch because
I think every time, I think that's very shrewd, Jim. I think that every time they do a new edition of Huck Finn, they go, roll out the fucking nigger thing to get it out on the store, to get these sell some books.
And they're afraid people might not buy it with nigger, and especially the climate now. So, like, we want to sell books, change it like that, and maybe schools that aren't buying it will buy it. I think it's a financial
Oh, yeah, no, putting nigger in a book just shuts down sales.
Well, I mean, to colleges and schools.
No, I know.
But Twitter is huge, and I'm telling you, I didn't see one person go, well, they should take it out. They were all like, what the fuck is this
who's
about?
talking about taking it out now? The publisher? Is they talking about
the
taking it out?
publisher is taking it out.
The New South.
Without really giving a reason. I haven't seen a reason yet why they're taking it out.
No, it's really...
They said it was actually based on one guy complaining and talking about it, that whenever he had to talk about the book as he was teaching, he did the Jim.
How fucking important is that? And you should say nigger Jim when you talk about the book. You should, if you're talking to sixth graders about it, you should say nigger Jim every time. You should never say Jim without nigger. In
any
life.
context, sports.
Yeah, nigger Jim.
On this show in the morning when I say hi in the morning.
Opie and Anthony with nigger Jim.
Yeah, that's your new name, Jim.
Nigger Jimmy Norton. Little nigger Jimmy Norton.
Oh, Jesus, Lou, you got a show on FX. You're gonna get an FX.
No, but you shouldn't. That's
policy.
how you untie those two. You're doing a real fucking damage.
Yeah,
I agree.
It is softening.
Completely agree.
Completely.
And they'll continue softening it. They won't stop by with just naming him Slave Jim. They'll move on from there. Hey, a quote from Mark Twain about censorship. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak just because a baby can't chew it.
That's very, very Mark Twain of him.
That is Twain.
Telling a
Can you
fucking
find
man
Mark
he can't
Twain
have a
about
wow.
Huck Finn? Because he said you'll find Mark Twain talking about Huck
great.
Finn.
Yeah, I would love to know.
And
it.
if you Google, also YouTube around and see if you can find that Ronald Reagan clip, because I swear to God, it's what it always ends up being something I didn't know.
What a great quote.
Yeah,
What
that
a
is.
fucking...
That's a good one.
Censorship is telling a man he can't have steak because a baby can't chew it.
Right.
That is fucking genius.
We sacrificed, and said this years ago, our own entertainment because we got to protect the children.
Yeah, the children.
But I think also
what
baby
about
is
our entertainment?
A baby is also about other adults metaphorically as well.
Definitely used as a metaphor.
Absolutely.
For asshole children thinking.
I never read that. I don't read Mark Twain. I've never read him.
Jimmy.
I'm just not.
Neither do I.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
That stopped me in my tracks. And I'm hard to do. As everybody says, no one doesn't stop in their tracks like Norton. That's what the word on the street is. People who think other people have different impressions of them than they do. Well, everybody's like, people always know. I don't fuck around. Nobody knows that. Jerk off.
Nobody knows that.
And in other news, it's official, according to CSA Dick, the Cleveland Cavaliers have offered that homeless guy the job of announcing at the at the fucking Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cleveland needs something.
Yeah, that guy is
Poor guy, though.
A really good job.
See, he turns it down because he doesn't want to live in Cleveland.
Right.
Or maybe he wants to go somewhere warmer.
Well, that too, Chip.
Just ruined your brilliant joke.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah, well, what are we doing? We're looking up the clip.
I was trying to find
find
the Ronald Reagan clip. That's going to be a hard thing to find.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
It was a PBS documentary. I'm gonna watch that today. Can I watch it on YouTube?
Netflix.
It's kind of difficult to find, actually.
How about Netflix?
Later, I will.
I gotta look. I gotta look. When I did a preliminary search, it wasn't really yielding a lot
What's
besides
it called,
VHS
Lou?
tapes.
What's that?
What's the special called? The documentary.
I don't fucking remember.
I'll get it for you. Hang on.
Someone can help me out and let me know.
That's all right. Sometimes we snap.
I don't.
It is called Culture Shock. Born to Trouble: Adventures of Huck Finn. That's the name of it, but it's kind of hard to find because it's 10 years old already.
Right.
Oh, see, so yeah,
I'm surprised YouTube doesn't have a.
I know. I just did it might be on there, but not under that title anyway.
Right.
Is it on Netflix, Dan?
I need to look for it because
please,
I'm doing something else now.
Let me say hi to Jerry in Maine. Jerry.
Hey boys, how are you?
Pretty good, buddy.
All right.
Louie, it's a great show, and
you know what? Hold on one second. We will go back to you in a sec. Kyle in California is a black guy, very angry. Kyle, what's up?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hi, Kyle. How you doing? Kyle.
And you're.
He's laughing.
What's up, Kyle?
I want to say I love the show, right? But you guys, like, if Patrice was there, you guys would use like your fucking nigger quota this morning. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Louie, I love your show too. My wife and I watch it all the time. Genius. But who made the point saying that to take out the word nigger Jim takes away from the story? I didn't catch who caught that.
No, it's not. It would take away from. Well, it would take away from the story, but it would take away the historical context of it. It would take. It would be sanitizing.
Kyle, let him finish. He makes a good point.
It would be sanitizing history in a way that in the end is bad for black people, I think.
He was a slave.
Yeah, I know.
So how does taking the word that a highly offensive word, mind you?
Because he wasn't just a slave; he was called Nigger Jim.
Everything about his life.
That's how horrid it was. It takes away from the horror of what this guy's life was.
And also, Kyle, let me ask you something. When you read something, you should be hit with a visceral reaction. Like Slave Jim, it's a horrible thing to be a slave, but that doesn't give you a visceral reaction. When you read...
No, Jim, if you knew anything about what slavery was really entailed, it doesn't matter what you call it.
You have 1 minute left on your phone card. You have 1 minute left on your phone card.
Kyle,
I'm going to wrap it up.
Let me ask you a question. Because we've said what we think about it. If you want to add something, what would be accomplished by taking Nigger Jim out of the book?
I think the fact, and I agree with you on censorship, it's diluting our society. And that quote that he had saying, if you take steak away from a man, it's like you're stopping a baby from eating a
Kyle, what would be accomplished? Did you take him off?
No, he's not.
What would be accomplished? What positive would come out of taking Nigger Jim out of a book like Huck Finn?
The positive that I feel would be accomplished would set a standard as far as what's acceptable in our society, and I agree with you as far as censorship, but
it's not about censorship. It's about telling.
Somebody said it was a great part of American history, right? That book stems from a great part of American history. It's part of American history.
Right.
That was a very dark and disgusting time in our history.
So should we
let's make believe it didn't happen.
Should we go back and change what it was really like?
Right.
Is that even fucking, you know?
I don't think it should be celebrated.
Kyle,
should we go back and should we redub? It's not being celebrated. It's being motherfucking-nated. Grow the fuck up, man.
Should Roots be edited a certain way?
Should we redub Schindler's List and everywhere that they say Juden, say respectfully Jews, no problem with them, but let's go ahead and kill them, but let's not go and call them Juden?
I knew you would bring that point up with as far as how the Jews were treated. Even the Japanese in World War II, was calling them chinks and whatever you call them, flat faces. Who knows? I understand your.
Dude, should roots be redone with the word nigger removed?
No.
Why?
Because that. All right, I'm nailed. You got me.
Okay, thank you, Kyle. Seriously, that takes balls to admit you're wrong.
Yeah, no one does that.
I'm done with
You're
that.
right.
All right.
Oh, you know what?
Thank you, Kyle.
Sorry,
Go home and get your fucking
Thank
shine
you.
box.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Hey, Lo, you think
Frank Vincent quotes?
Listen, he said it. We didn't say
just
it.
a question, because it goes back to the 9/11 stuff and all. You think slavery was bad for everybody that was a slave?
Imagine that.
Oh, that was a slave?
That was a slave.
Do you think like one
Do
guy
you
was
think
kind of cool?
I'm just asking the question. You think there were some slaves that went, "Holy fuck, this is a pretty good damn
Well,
life I
it
got."
was no, because you can't choose it. You can't make a choice. That's
But you think
essential to
some
his
people
human
went-
happiness.
Some guys had better
Have some
experiences.
choice.
The ones that worked in the house. That's where that
Some
expression
people
comes from,
found
yeah.
happiness
Was
inside of
everybody
lives of
happy
slaves.
that slavery
still
was
be-
abolished?
You would still be
or,
the bird
or
in
did
the
some
gilded
people go,
cage.
"Fuck, I had it actually pretty easy doing what I was doing," and now
when I learned American history back when I was in junior high school, because that's as far as my education really got. I was in high school, but I didn't learn anything there. Life got very suddenly difficult for people after they were freed. Their life, some of them, their lives were simpler, and then some of them, their lives got more difficult. But I think if you had asked them, they would have said life is hard now, but I'd rather that than be a slave. I would say most people.
just
But
asking
there's
the
always
question.
You're always going to have some that'll like take
that
that
are
going to
go.
like,
you know,
really?
that it's certainly life was easier than.
It's like
I can think
prison.
that
There
about
are
a lot
people-
of times in my life that were worse but easier.
There are people in prison that don't want to ever get out of prison. So
yeah. Also, by the way, those
same thing.
people, the slaves that were freed, took a hit for the rest of for every generation after them. They had the hardest job, which was to transition to a free life, and they suffered for it because suddenly they go from being slaves, somebody who at least the whites would protect them just because they're their property. Just based on, with the same protection of like, stay off my lawn, stop hitting my slave. And then suddenly they become just their neighbor who they hate.
Right.
And they'll do because they're so bored of being poor that they just take it out on black people. So yeah, I think that there was probably black people that were bitter. I'm talking totally out of my ass. It's not my experience, but I'm
speculating.
If I was to speculate, I would say,
obviously
there are
it was
people
awful,
like this
but-
fucking. I think I wouldn't be left with like I shouldn't have been freed. I would have been left with white people really stink because first they fucking capture you, own you, and then they let you go and beat the shit out of you till you die. I really am not fond of whites. That would have been my prevailing feeling for anybody at that time.
You sure
not
wrapped that
freedom
up.
stinks, but white people aren't fun in any capacity.
They're not being fun and nice.
No. They're not being fun and nice.
I think if slaves were kind of given some of the shit they were...
I love. Sorry,
No.
that guy's not really nice. It's like this. There's a Gary Larson cartoon of hell, and there's two guys sitting in the corner of hell waiting to get like tortured, and one guy's whispering to the other guy, "I hate this place." It's like sort of off. It's not for me. I'm not into this. So I suppose there's black people that were like that.
Yeah, I think it's put a terrible burden on the country in many, many ways over many, many years.
You know, like
Thank you.
Kyle's call though isn't like he's a black guy. He's fucking doesn't like the word nigger. Fair enough, but it's like that reaction, that initial just that anger about it. It's like when you break it down logically, it's like it shouldn't be taken out. To be pleasant or to be polite. You can't change something that makes you realize how horrible something. You should read that and feel unpleasant about it.
Yeah, that's what Mark Twain was
Also,
going
it's
for.
what he wrote. It's what Mark Twain wrote.
Yeah.
Leave his shit
Regardless,
alone.
it's what he wrote.
It's what he wrote.
Just
He was. It's a insight into his mind, and even if he wrote it for a nefarious reason, it's what he wrote. Either don't print the book or print it,
Or don't buy it for schools if you don't think kids should read it.
whatever.
Go have him read another book.
What are they going
Read
to
a Harry Potter
re-edit
book
Birth
or
of a
something.
Nation?
Yeah, no, it makes no sense.
Let's re-edit.
It's funny though. It's true.
that.
People are so excited to get offended and to clack it on the keyboard and make that phone call that they don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think about it, and you give him one simple argument. What, should you take it out of roots? No, but oh yeah,
And
that's
then it's like,
right.
why? Why should you?
Oh yeah.
That
Well, that's why my
represents
nickname
a-
is. Oh, sorry.
Oh, what?
I was going to say my nickname is the Slippery Slope Kid. I really know how to bring up slippery slopes.
And that's why you got to fight it, because then you start here, they just continue, and they
Exactly.
edit everything,
That's right.
every movie we know, every book we know.
You can't
History
edit
in general. They would love to edit.
You can't edit unpleasant things.
Right.
They're
our
there.
history.
Don't watch them or don't read them. I mean, it's why I wear a shirt that says, "Hey, the knob has an on and off switch." You know?
And this guy,
you gotta love that.
This guy's got some insight on the guy that's doing this. Daniel in Oklahoma. You know a little more than we do, hopefully.
Yeah, I read an
Welcome
interview.
aboard, Dan.
Thanks, Jim. I read an interview with the guy,
No, you didn't.
and it's just one guy. This was not
Exactly.
like a publisher's decision. It wasn't like a board of people who decided to do this. It was one guy. He's a Mark Twain scholar, I guess, as much as you could be.
Right.
And then he goes around and he does presentations at schools about the books and stuff. And he found that a lot of teachers are afraid to assign the book as reading because of that word. So what he did, he rewrote the book, because it's like what is public domain, so somebody can publish it. And at the beginning of the book, there's a several-page foreword that explains that this has been censored, and it basically says, anytime the nigger, I'm going to put slave. Like, you basically know that up front.
But
And
it's
he
just
did it so that teachers can assign the book and kids can learn it and want it. And then
And
maybe
it's a
they'll go read the
fucking
real thing.
shame. It's a fucking shame because
It's a shame, but
kids
it's
should
not,
know.
You know, it's not a conspiracy, and it's not. He doesn't feel guilty about it.
I believe it is. No, it isn't a conspiracy. It's just a bad decision, and it's
Of course it is.
and it has an impact because kids that are going to read the book aren't going to know what history was like. They're not going to know how bad things were. They're also not going to know how the story worked. They're not going to understand the irony almost. The dichotomy, or other words I don't know exactly what they mean, of this kid having a friend who he calls Nigger Jim, and he has affection for him, and actually is thinking about turning him in. He's actually thinking, well, if I was taught the golden rule: turn niggers in when they run away. Like that's what it was to grow up in that time.
Yeah.
Come on, Nigger Jim, you're my pal. What a crazy sentence that is. Leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Let kids deal with that. Not only the reality of how hard things were for black people, but that there were friendships that included moments like saying, Nigger Jim, you're my best friend, or whatever. I don't know the book well enough to come up with, but there's probably some, like there was a movie about Hitler that came out a few years ago with John Cusack, where he knows he's a friend of young Hitler when he was an artist. And he says to him,
fun Hitler.
And he says to him at one point, "Oh, Hitler, let me buy you a lemonade." That's a quote from the movie. Hitler, let me buy you a lemonade. What a crazy thing! But it's a valuable thing for people to know that Hitler was once some art student that somebody took sympathy on and bought him a lemonade to cheer him up.
Who knew he
Did he drink it? Did he accept the lemonade?
He accepted the lemonade and said, I'm going to kill every Jew.
Did he see the lemonade and go, wow, this will make great dye for numbers? That really started the ball rolling.
Probably a good thing
yellow.
you didn't ask for a.
Go ahead,
Probably a good
sir.
thing you didn't ask for orange juice. Huh?
I didn't hear you, sir. We talked over you. I apologize.
I was trying to do a chip. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
You're gone. Thank you.
I actually didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
Louis, you like that
Bad.
your kids go to public schools?
Yeah, I do. I think public school is an important part of how things work.
Are they learning
when they work.
proper things, you think?
No, but they got, it's good they're getting a bad education to get. No, we have a particularly good public school in our neighborhood because we have wealthier people in our neighborhood.
But you seen that PC shit, though?
Fact. What's that?
The PC shit?
No,
it's Merry Christmas at that school? Still?
I'm trying to remember if in Christmas we had Christmas stuff up. I don't know. I don't care about that. I don't believe that that's the fucking battleground.
the happy holidays.
Bill
or
O'Reilly.
Merry
Who gives a
Christmas.
shit? There's no. what are we defending Santa Claus and
you're a
Jesus?
Pinhead, then.
Yeah, apparently I'm a
You're
pinhead.
A pinhead and
Don't
not
get
a
on his
patriot.
bad
I don't
side,
think it
Mo.
makes any difference. Is that
Watch out for
cheesy?
him.
When they say Merry Christmas in school, it's just as cheesy as when they say Happy Holidays to everyone. I don't care.
Okay.
But the kids' education is, I think it's really a huge part of why America grew well, even though it's now dying poorly.
A horrible death.
people would all throw into this one school, and wherever you lived, that's where you went, and that it was paid for by a collective, and kids in your neighborhood and teachers in your neighborhood all interacted, rather than this idea that a school is being paid for and selecting children. You get all these things like fake diversity in private schools, where private schools brag that they have a certain amount of, just enough black people.
Just enough diversity.
Yeah, to not
say
bother
we're diverse.
To make everyone comfortable.
Yeah, but public schools are just very ad hoc. They're very imperfect, and they're good.
What's ad hoc mean?
Ad hoc means kind of put together without a plan, I think.
Yeah, it's like an ad hoc.
Sounds right.
Yeah, there's layers of lumpy paint. There's not really a,
and you can get the shit beat out of you by the diverse crowd in public school.
Yeah, yeah, and you just do your best in a public school, and it's got the depth that you can go in. If you're a kid that's really curious, you can learn. Otherwise, you might be ignored. It's sort of up to you.
Learn more about like real life and how to function in a society.
But it's terrible that there are places where there is no good public school. I mean, there's neighborhoods in America where there is no accredited school, where there is no school.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like in Lowell, Mass. I think my friend of mine is a doctor, and he bought a mansion in Lawrence, Massachusetts, because it cost him $15. And he started living there and opened a clinic, and then he learned that there was no school. Literally, the public schools were so bad that they lost accreditation. That if you graduated from the local school, you couldn't go to college.
It didn't matter. You just went and
totally, because they didn't have enough money to keep the schools going. There was no private school, so literally those kids were weren't growing up illiterate.
Wow,
that's fucked up, and it should be, I think, fixed through public school. I don't believe in all this charter shit and private school vouchers. I don't personally believe it. That's just my belief, though.
I went to a great tax. I know that, and I don't have no kids.
What's that?
I ain't got no kids, but I pay a lot of school tax.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So enjoy your education, kids.
It's so, I guess it's so, they're not throwing shit at my house.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's keeping the dirty folks in the
Keep
building.
the nice schools, because if you have nice schools, then it keeps nice people in your neighborhood.
That's right.
So it's pretty much I'm paying extortion money to keep
the neighborhood nice.
The bad people out of my neighborhood.
They get you coming and going, Aunt, right? How many times have we said that?
Right in the pocketbook. They hit you right in the pocketbook, Jim.
Running out of show. One more phone call for Louis C.K. because it's a good one. Melissa, what do you got for Louis?
Oh, you saved the best for last. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Hi, Melissa.
What are you laughing at?
I have been married for 10 years, and just recently I started really changing my viewpoint on that, and listening to the show has been a big help, and Louis, you in particular, have really led me in the right direction, so I just wanted to thank you.
So do what, divorce?
You got out of a bad marriage?
Just trying not to say what she's...
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because of Louis C.K.
Pretty much, more or less, yeah.
There you go, Lo. You're helping people.
Well, what was wrong with the marriage that you had to get out of it?
It just wasn't working.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too specific.
Oh, yeah, no, vague. Keep it vague.
Do you have kids?
That's what I do. But yeah, it's...
you have kids?
It's been, no, and that...
Oh, so, who fucking cares then?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Did he ever hit you?
Want some ass?
Did he ever hit you? I love it.
Was it physically abusive?
No.
What do you do wrong?
What are you, the Kramer versus Kramer lawyer? Did he hit you at all? Was he an alcoholic? Did he blow his money? Did he? Well, then I can see why you left him. Next witness.
I don't want to put blame on
You want the kid, don't you?
What makes a woman a better
Cheating.
parent simply by virtue of her sex? There's a great line from Kramer versus
Infidelity.
By the virtue of sex.
I don't know who that was.
Infidelity.
Dustin
Jerry
Hoffman.
Seinfeld.
That was good.
No, marriages are sometimes they just stink. Every fucking day stinks, and then you stop talking about it because it's so bad that you can't communicate because the only communication would be, "Honey, I'm not feeling so good about us." I know because every day sucks and we should split up. That's a hard thing to say out loud. But there's nothing, it's natural. Why should nothing is going to just keep going except for Opie's marriage. Other than that,
it really is a happy marriage.
I really think marriages should be finite. I really think you should sign like a 5-year, 10-year contract.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on your...
gotta re-up.
Probably ruined our relationship with getting married.
Well, that's what, if you were to like do a 10-year, 5-year, I love you, I want to marry you for 10 years. And then around 9 years, you start talking about, do you want to keep doing this?
Renegotiate.
You want to keep re-up? Well, then you could say, here's why I'm not crazy about re-upping. You could actually say it. If you're 9 years deep into a forever relationship, you can't even talk about the problems because there's so much at stake. But if you were at year 9, you'd be like, okay, here's what I hate about you. If you could change 40% of these, I would hang in for another 5 years. And then the other person goes, I don't want to change this. I don't want to change this.
What a brilliant idea.
Well, because we're talking about changing marriage to be civil unions anyway, to be a civil union, by the way, is a prenuptial agreement. That's what it is. Yeah. A prenuptial agreement is a civil union. It's a court-based
and thank God for those.
Civil. So you write those out.
No wonder he left.
And then every marriage will become. Wow. I know. Every marriage will become.
Exactly. The men are talking.
Yeah, why don't you go grab some coffee for the boys?
Go there and make some cookies. I want to smell cookie dough wafting out of the kitchen. And you waddle around in your apron. All the men talk. And fucking drag your cunt into the fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
Make
No,
us
listen,
cookies.
I'm glad you got out of there. It's not.
I'm only kidding, madam.
There's a lot of pressure on married people to stay together by people that have no stake in it.
Yes.
No, you got to hang in there.
Like
You don't live in my fucking house, so
you don't know the misery.
No, and if you don't have kids, I don't even care. I mean, if you don't have kids, you broke up with your boyfriend.
You're dating, right?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? It's meaningless. There's no. You just.
It does become different when you become a father. Holy
yeah, that's
shit,
it,
man.
Totally different.
Well, in any event, thank you, Louie.
All right, Melissa, sure. Go
Bye,
fuck
Melissa.
yourself.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
With that, we got to thank Louis C.K. It was great catching up with Louis, man.
Always.
Thank you, fellas.
He's really famous.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
very famous now.
Oh my God, no! It's I'm at the White House.
I'll tell you what.
That's what you know. What when I tweeted the Sarah Palin cunt tweets, the thought I had up there in the sky was, I've put a glass ceiling on my career. I just put a glass ceiling.
You'll never be the guy.
I will never be at the White House correspondence.
No.
Like that's like the heavyweight champion. That's what every great comic gets to eventually is roasting the president.
Yeah,
and in the White House, and somebody will vet me for that at some point, just because I'm one of the, I'm on a list, a short list of comedians in the world. I don't know how short the list is, at least 20 or so. And if who are alive and working, and if you tick down that list, you get to my name. And go, click Google. Nah, let's not invite that problem.
Comments, that's going to be a problem.
Sarah Palin's retard making cunt. I don't think we want.
That's going to be a problem.
Steer clear of this one.
To give the Chris or whatever the fucking people at Fox News are.
Yeah, we don't want.
All right.
Barack Obama apparently thought it would be funny to have this guy who said that
Beck.
Sarah Palin's son was a retard.
Now, if a Republican comic had said something like that, they'd have hung him out to dry.
They really would have done a number on that one.
I do love the hypocrisy there.
Fucking Louie, you rule. All right, what do we got to do? We got to make sure people see Hilarious. It's going to be on Comedy Central Sunday night at 10 p.m., and then the DVD/CD will be available Tuesday for Hilarious.
Yes, and Louie will come back on FX in June.
Can't fucking wait, Louie.
New episodes.
We can't wait for that. And Jimmy, you good?
All I got is Cap City in Austin. I've never done Austin, Texas. I'm doing that for the first time in a few weeks.
Great club.
And the late show at the Borgata, we have a few tickets available for the 15th late show, and that's it.
Okay, and
Paul's good.
We're going to go to break with another taste of Hilarious for the people to get them pumped for the special.
All right.
See you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Lou.